All right, welcome back to another New York Got Game live Knicks watch party. We're here for Game 6. We didn't think we were going to be because the Knicks did not win Game 5. But your boy Dexter Henry here with my guy Bryan Fonseca and our special guest, my good friend, Kavitha Davidson. Fantastic freelance journalist. You can catch her hosting Sportly and also sometimes on WFAN. How you doing, Kavitha?
I'm doing all right, Dex. Thank you for having me. Bryan, it's so good to finally meet you in person.
Yes, absolutely. Likewise.
What's good here is we brought friends here because you're good friends with Doug, which I actually didn't know. Doug was our first guest here during the playoffs, and I didn't know you guys were cool.
You know, it's one of those things where if you gather a group of 5 native New Yorkers, 2 of them somehow know each other in some way. That's a real thing, right?
Yeah.
Doug and I mean, you guys had wonderful things, and I appreciate it. When Doug was here for Game 1, Doug and I have known each other since high school, went to college together. Like his band played my 21st birthday.
Just crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, like it's a whole, like we go back. So.
Yeah, Doug's a good dude. We had so much fun with him up here. So we're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
We're hoping this night will be fun. It's always fun anyways, win or lose. But
Well, Doug was also 1-0. So
That's right.
so there's pressure.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's pressure. That's a good point.
No.
Brian. That's
The
a good
text
point.
I am going to get in the first half if we are losing.
Something like it's Kavitha's fault. I didn't say that. I did say that.
I'm only superstitious when it comes to sports, so I will leave. I will not be insulted.
No. What's your sports superstitions? Is there anything like?
So it tends to do with, honestly,
Good question.
it's the shot that you're doing when you start winning. You have to do
Yeah.
that shot throughout the playoff run.
Okay.
You can't do a shot of anything else.
Okay.
Clothing things. So I was wearing one shirt during, and it was a friend's shirt actually, during the fourth quarter comeback in Game 1.
Hmm.
And I had to wear that shirt
Did
until
you have it on in Game 4?
I had it on in Game 4, and I took it off after. It's in the laundry after.
So you
Tuesday,
didn't wear it for Game 5.
No, I did wear it for Game 5.
okay.
So it's in the laundry after Game 5.
Okay.
So
So the shirt's record is 3-2.
yeah, jersey, the shirt, the whole,
Jersey shirt.
yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah.
I don't have any sports superstitions anymore.
I'm not
Anything
sure
I do.
if I do either. I had in high school. I had one where, like, if I played a really good game, I would wash like my uniform and then sleep in the jersey,
Mhm.
Oh my
and
god.
then and try to see if it'll stick. And there were times where like it would carry it over. It would carry it over more often than not, although. It
I
wasn't
don't
a
really
particular
have
jersey.
one. I guess I'm a big Liverpool fan. In the last couple of years, when they've had some big matches, I will have like my Liverpool hat on and shirt on. I'll wear that, but that's it. I had that on Sunday, but they were going to
Will
win
you
the
do
title.
this? Because I think I did this last year during the Mets run, where Lindor will hit a home run, so then I'll try to stay in the same spot just to see.
So I 100%. We're like already we're gonna be friends. I think it was ALDS. I'm a Yankee fan. It was ALDS. Like
Oh.
6 or I know. I'm sorry.
I've
6 or
booted
7 years
before.
ago. I can't remember which year exactly, but I was in my kitchen, which had a pass-through window, right? So I
Okay.
could see the TV from there. I was just like
Mhm.
getting a beer or something, and Aaron Judge hit a home run, and I watched the rest of the game from the pass-through in my kitchen.
You would not move.
Did
to
not
go to the
move.
living room.
Did not
Did
move.
they win that game?
They did.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, whatever you believe in, let us know. If you're in the chat, thank you for joining us. What are some of your sports superstitions that you have? We got 150 people watching, so we appreciate all you
We
guys
do?
checking in. Yes, we do.
Jesus.
Um,
Didn't know that. That's more than normal, Kavitha.
the numbers are going up. People have been tuning in. It might be the Kavitha factor.
It's absolutely not the
I-
Kavitha factor, but thank you.
I don't know. Oh, since we see this, and I've been to Little Caesars Arena here.
Mhm.
What do you think? Have you had Detroit style pizza?
Oh, I have, yes. It's
Oh,
fine.
It's fine, right?
It's fine.
What would you
What
say
is it?
if somebody
What makes it Detroit?
It's
style?
like pan pizza.
pan pizza, a little buttered crust
Right.
in the pan, and it's generally square like a Sicilian slice.
It's square. It's thinner than a Sicilian slice, right?
Yeah.
If I'm getting this right.
Correct,
But it's
not a
got these
steak.
like burnt edges that are actually kind of satisfying.
Yeah, I actually like them.
But I don't like Little Caesars pizza is not real pizza, obviously.
No,
that
it's
doesn't
that's
count, but-
like if you go to Detroit, you got to go to
Well-
a spot called Buddy's.
Mm.
That's the spot you go to
Okay.
in Detroit for the
Mhm.
Detroit.
Little Caesars. This is a Spencer Hall thing. He
Please do
said this
not
before.
defend Little Caesars
No,
pizza.
no, but
Otherwise,
Spencer-
I might have to get it.
Spencer Hall said this a while ago, and I agree with him. He's like, listen, Little Caesars, they promise 2 things: hot and ready. They don't tell you it's gonna be good.
That's not who wants that.
They don't
Who
tell you
wants
it's
that?
gonna be amazing. They're like, look, we'll have it for you hot, and it'll be ready when you get here. You pick it up.
If it's
walk
not
out.
good, that means it's not ready for consumption. I don't want that.
I don't eat Little Caesar. Look, as a New Yorker, I'm pretty snobbish about chain pizza.
I mean,
same
I think
here.
as
You know
all,
what I
all of
mean?
us
Like,
should be, right?
Yeah.
But as a New Yorker, I'm also snobbish about the fact that when you're traveling, especially for work, doing what we do, sometimes you
Yes.
forget to eat before 9 p.m. and there
Yes.
are very limited options.
and one of them might be Little Caesars.
One of them might be Little Caesars.
Or unfortunately, Domino's. No offense. If Domino's wants to sponsor this,
yeah. Little Caesars, you too. we'll take this. We'll take the sponsorship.
Little Caesar's probably not doing this.
Well, Shaq has that Papa John's like franchise
he has
ownership,
He
right?
has every sponsor possible, which
He does.
I mean, that's another story for another day.
How's everybody feeling about the Knicks winning tonight? How are you feeling about this game?
I'm nervous. I don't know if my blood pressure or my liver could handle a game 7.
Too many shots. Too many shots.
No, listen, what I don't like about the longer this game goes on, honestly, but also the longer the series is Detroit is so young. We're making that defense look much better than it actually is. And obviously not only are guys banged up, but they're playing max minutes. And this is nothing new here, but
No, it's not.
listen, the specter of the Celtics looms larger every minute that we don't get this done, basically.
Yeah.
I like that point about making Detroit's defense looking better than it is, because like in just looking through these games, I do find myself trying to figure out, all right, what is Detroit doing exactly? And it's just kind of, as we've talked about, living with Tobias Harris on Karl-Anthony Towns, sending help when appropriate, because Karl-Anthony Towns is not getting a lot of assists. Not that he, is somebody who gets like Nikola Jokic, that amount of assists, but he's not really getting a lot of assists, which means they're trying to get the ball out of his hands quickly. There's not a lot that they're doing defensively, but I do think the Knicks are missing shots that are makeable, and that's been a big part of why their offense has just been slumping. Also, just the constant isolation, like we're already kind of seeing there. At least there was like some movement to create that shot, though.
I mean, and the half court game has been so slow, nothing happening there.
Yeah.
Like
way
the
too long
offense
to
is-
get into their
right?
Way too long.
I can't remember. I think it was Fred Katz at The Athletic, but he said it's in the fourth quarter of Game 5, it was 9 seconds to get across, and it's like, no, that's ridiculous. And if you're not making shots, it's going to be worse.
Good. Well, something the Knicks need to have happen here: 2 possessions, 2 scores, 1 coming off of defense, steal by Bridges, and a finish. They got it. That's another thing. They got to get easy buckets in transition. They haven't been able to do that well in the series. And that's some of what Fred Katz was talking about, why it took them so long to get into their sets.
I wonder if this is a situation where the refs are going to let them play like we saw last time they were in Detroit. I hope so, because I typically like when playoff basketball is allowed to be physical. Wouldn't mind if there's a couple scuffles, because I enjoy that.
No, Brian immensely enjoys that. he's waiting for the fight.
I think not that I'm pro like NBA players absolutely need to fight, but I am pro like, listen, sometimes you just got to let them tussle and get it out of their systems, because it's all that pent up energy. If we have it, they have it.
Oh,
you know what
100%.
I mean? Like, so I think, like it's okay to just push around as long as nobody gets, no Kermit Washington situation. We don't need that.
It's the muted basketball version of like the hockey controlled fights thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess we have a defensive 3 seconds already.
Hey, you got to take that for the Knicks. Also hit your free throws. which
Also
they
hit
didn't do
your
last
free
game.
throws.
Yes.
JG in the chat says Knicks aren't rebounding well. Durant beat the Knicks by getting all those second chance boards last game. You were right, JG. Giving up second chance points did hurt the Knicks in the last game. We'll see how they do.
To JG's point, we've been talking about Mitchell Robinson. How much are we going to see him? He's the only guy off the bench that I think we'll see significant minutes from, or that we can guarantee we'll see significant minutes from at least.
Brunson short on that 3.
See, transition D's also been terrible this whole series.
Yep. That's not been good.
With that. We're in physical with Tim Hardaway Jr. at all there. And Cade is actually like defensively. I'll say this on these one-on-one situations, Cade's actually been he's held up defensively.
Cat rushed that shot there.
That was good by Josh Hart. Good at staying his ground.
Josh Hart has been doing everything that he needs to do, and it was a problem that he was also our main scoring threat in the first half of Game 5.
Yes, it's as good as he is. That is a problem. No, I agree with that.
That's not what he's on the floor for.
No, I absolutely agree with that. He's a problem.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Detroit lost their last 9 playoff home games. Haven't won one at home since apparently 2008. I mean, before the series, they hadn't won a playoff game as a franchise since
True.
2009.
It was 14 straight, I think.
and because they made the playoffs like 3 times since 09 or something like that,
Mhm.
but they got swept every time.
Right.
They were constantly like the 8th seed, or maybe they may have been 7th at one point, but like I think they made the playoffs where Rodney Stuckey was like their best or second best player
Oh my
one
God, going back to
I
I
like
know,
throwing
like-
it. Yeah.
year. You know, there was a Rodney Stuckey team, there was a Brandon Jennings team, and I'm pretty sure there was an Andre Drummond team.
There was an Andre Drummond team.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think it was Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin yet, maybe, but I got to brush up on my Pistons history, I guess.
How
Oh.
dare you?
And this is another key for the Knicks. They got to force these turnovers.
They've
That's
also got to
what-
take advantage when Detroit's
Mhm.
not nailing shots.
and score off those turnovers.
Right.
See Bridges handling the ball a lot more in this game so far. Eesh.
You see Detroit not giving Karl-Anthony Towns a switch either. Like they
Mhm.
stuck with Tobias on him as opposed to switching. to
Well, he's
Cade.
not scared of Duran at all.
Yeah, they don't want to put Duran on him either because Karl-Anthony Towns is able to use his speed to just get by Duran or just pop him out from 3. Like I think putting Tobias on him is smart.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're guarding Cat smartly. Cat's just had some success in a couple of games.
At some point, the Knicks have to make teams pay for putting small guys on Cat, though.
Yeah.
At some point, they've got to do that. Good move by Brunson.
Yeah.
Because Boston's going to do that too, assuming.
Assuming they get there. Yeah, no jinx, no jinx.
Yeah, let's not do that
No
anymore.
You know what?
It's another thing. Where's the wood that I can knock on?
Not your chair.
Superstition.
Not your chair.
It's the table.
I was
The
gonna say,
table's
there we
wood.
go.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Kavitha, I was going to ask you because we've been asking people. This came, I don't know if it was when Doug was with us. What's your favorite food to eat while watching a game? What is the best
was
food?
Doug.
I think Doug. It was
Yeah.
when we had Doug here.
Oh,
right?
Doug's gonna have all the food opinions, and I respect it.
Because I gotta let the people
You'll
know.
live with that.
Kavitha
Well,
is a
not that.
foodie like me. I think you're on another level of foodie for me. But you're there.
Listen,
You're what I aspire to be as a foodie.
I thank you for that. I will quote our friend Lindsay Adler,
Yes.
who once said, "I am the perfect mix of highbrow and lowbrow."
And you know what? That knowing you, that fits.
So food wise, I will eat the most pretentious stuff, and then give me some very good wings. Honestly,
See?
some good wings.
you
So
go.
game
Wings.
day, I'm gonna go
Depends.
wings. I'm gonna go some kind of tater tots over
Oh,
fries any day of the
yes.
week. Honestly.
Okay.
Ooh.
But if I'm being perfectly honest, and not every bar has this, but if there's pigs in a blanket on a menu, I'm ordering.
I'm
it.
here for
Well,
the pigs in the
we
blanket.
got a comment from Adrian who says hot dog.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
close enough to
Close enough.
pigs in a
I'm not
blanket.
doing a hot dog. If I'm not at a baseball game, I'm not
Is-
doing a hot dog.
At a
I'm
cookout or a
probably not.
baseball game.
Yeah, those are the
I
only
feel like
places
it's
I'm
a-
doing.
Yeah, although I don't typically go for the hot dog anymore
Mhm.
necessarily.
We have one of our producers just said in my ear, tater tots over fries is a horrible take.
I will fight about this. It also depends on the fry.
Come in here, Tommy. Come in here now.
Not enough places have.
There
I'm
are
with
too
the
many.
tater tots.
There are
I-
too many ways to mess up a French fry, and there are not a lot of ways to mess up a tater tot.
I actually agree with that.
As
That's-
somebody who has become like a hash browns over French fries guy, like I would agree with that.
You get it, right?
Yes.
yeah, I would agree with that. I had wings.
I love
from one of
fries
the
though, to be
games.
clear.
Oh,
I still
fries
love
are great.
French
I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
fries too, but you can't mess them up. I agree.
Yeah.
I brought wings in for one of our watch alongs. Somebody's like, "Oh, wings." Sam, what somebody works, it was like, "It's a bold choice to have
No,
wings."
yeah, because we were saying like it could.
Oh, so here's the. Hold on.
It was the
It was
Okay,
with
wings
Al.
are-
Al
the dating
Citron.
conversation.
Wings
Dating-
are not telegenic. Like, don't eat wings in front of me on television.
Y'all gonna deal with these wings. This wing eating. That's all I'm
No,
saying.
because it's like if you're out, like it can get messy. It just depends.
These were not
Depends.
saucy wings. Okay, these were
Yeah,
dry
Right.
wings.
Okay.
But I mean, if you were on a date,
Mm.
not a first date, and you went to a wing spot and you wanted some barbecue wings, would you be embarrassed to eat the wings in front of the date?
If it's not the first date,
The first day you shouldn't be going to a wing spot. That's just-
100%.
That's
yes,
just a bad choice.
Right.
You might not even want to continue after that. That's all I'm saying.
But if you're going to a spot that's specifically known for the wings, like if I'm like I am dating somebody, but if I'm going on like a second or third date to watch a game at, let's say, Blondie's, shout out to
Great-
Blondie's,
great
best
wings.
wings in
My
the
producer
city,
Nikolai loves Blondes. He said it in my ear he loves Blondes.
was my high school bar.
There you go.
But If you're going to a spot that's specifically known for wings, you should probably order the wings. And I think it's perfectly acceptable to eat them in front of somebody.
See?
However, I'm going to be
no.
very self-conscious
Yeah.
myself about the way that I am eating them.
Same.
And will probably be a little too precious.
But we're always self-conscious in these early dating
Yes,
situations,
that's
right?
also true.
You know what I mean? You're always sort of self-conscious. So I get all that, but I'm not going to eat it as comfortably as I would now in my relationship.
Yeah, now I don't care.
Now you don't care,
like,
but early
you know,
on, but I wouldn't be afraid to eat the wings. I'm gonna go and eat the wings.
I will say, I think it took me 25 years of my life to be comfortable eating wings in public. So
Really?
That's interesting.
yeah.
I don't.
But I don't get. See, I don't get a lot of messy wings that much. You know, when I think about it now,
Well, it depends.
I like a lot of
You
dry
may
rub
not
wings.
think so, but certain places they just put too much barbecue sauce on.
Mhm.
You know,
They
what I
do.
mean?
No.
That's-
But I generally am not
So I
eating
try
a
to
lot
play
of
it
those
safe.
in those places. That's what I'm thinking about. So it is what it is.
You're a dry rub man. Is that what you're
I
saying?
am a dry rub
Fair
man.
enough.
I am. Doesn't mean I can like some sauce. I get it. The sauce can get messy.
Sticky wings are good when they're not too.
See, sticky wings. I don't want sticky wings when I'm out. I want sticky wings when I'm home. I don't want
Okay,
it out.
that's fair.
I don't want it unless I have like nothing to do after. Nowhere to go. And I'm just like whatever.
Nowhere to go, so you're just okay with the under fingernail? Like,
Yeah. I was like, I'll deal with this till I get home. All right. So Knicks up 12-8, folks. Off to a pretty decent start.
Not a lot of takeaways, I would say, early
Yeah.
on. Faster offensive start, it feels like,
Mhm.
than last time out. And that's your boy Dex, Tim Hardaway Jr., who you love when he takes
Good
jumpers.
pass.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
That's the kind of offense the Knicks need. I like how the Knicks have been playing faster.
So you get these glimpses of the Villanova connection when Brunson makes those passes to McCall.
Mm-hmm.
It's Knicks ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Detroit pulled the trigger a couple straight times too quickly, I
That's a
think.
great pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because if McHale didn't turn that into an alley-oop, he can't get that layup off.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's just not in position to do that at all. So, I mean, it was a little bit of a gamble because I thought it was going to roll out, but
Mhm.
that was a good touch by him. Brunson's still getting the booze. Uh-oh, Duran now. He's going to try to drive.
Good move. Smart.
He
Yeah.
drove,
Again, not afraid of him
Yeah.
whatsoever.
That was a smart cat. Read the defense. That's what you want to see him do.
Because Duran's stiff. Like,
Mhm.
he's built like a brick house, but he's stiff.
He's been getting space when he's been on him. So
Yeah.
Knicks defense also been pretty good so far.
Why is Detroit shooting so quickly?
See how the Knicks are pushing it ahead? They're really
there you
aggressive.
go.
And
Man,
it feels
Knicks
like
up by
Detroit's
10.
panicking early on these possessions.
But this is what young teams are going to do in
Mhm.
an
Yeah.
elimination game at home.
Apparently.
The Knicks needed this kind of start, guys. They
Mhm.
needed to get off to a really good start here.
We have said this before.
Yeah, it's true. Facts. You're right. You're
Uh-oh.
not wrong.
Okay. They were trying to set up that back cut. See, they got it still,
Mhm.
but it was a bad pass. But all series, every time Duran gets the ball at the top of the key, Detroit is trying to send Asar Thompson.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Usually not just him, but it's Asar Thompson first, and he's always open,
Jesus.
so they're just hitting him.
Knicks are killing them in the paint.
That's why Duran keeps getting like 3-4 assists every game.
Well, we hadn't seen it until game 5, but Asar Thompson has
Yeah.
one of the more athletic games on this court.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And he's a fantastic defender, but he was killing them with the back cut there.
He's going to be good. That's the problem Knicks fans are going to have is they're going to be good next year.
Ah.
The East is going to be crazy next year.
Knicks-
I don't even mean crazy as in like everyone's going to be awesome. I mean crazy as in like chaotic.
I think a lot depends on where Giannis goes, right? Like,
Yes.
that's another thing too. Like
I don't assume he's staying out east. So
here's what you want to know my assumption. It's kind of
is it an assumption or a guess?
It's a guess.
Or a hot take? Is it an informed?
No, I don't have any
We're getting
information.
we're
on
getting
it.
inside.
I gotta ask.
I have,
We all know people.
we do, but I do not have this information. Just want to be
Okay.
clear.
He's secretly been leaving breadcrumbs in each of these 6 games.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if he goes to Miami.
Mm.
But I don't think that. I don't think. So.
Really?
I think, like, here's the problem. I think while Miami's going to, they're always going to look, and you know we respect their front office immensely. I just
Right.
don't think they have what Milwaukee would want
Good pass,
in a Giannis trade.
Hmm.
man.
They're
Knicks.
killing Detroit's defense.
They are killing them.
Jesus. See, remember I said this last time. I was like, I wonder if we're gonna get like the game where the Knicks actually put their foot on it early.
They
which
look
has
they
not
look
happened.
engaged.
I mean, listen, given the on-paper mismatch, we should have had one of those games at least. So
No, I think that's
I
what's
agree,
disappointing for
yeah.
Knicks fans that they haven't had one of these games yet, where they look like the superior team.
No, Carl, he looked like he wanted to shoot that.
Oh. Anunoby has some of those where he always gets contacted and loses the ball. He made a good move.
It's like he doesn't expect it.
Right.
All right. Well, you can't let them.
Didn't think he was gonna make that.
Yeah.
I could see Giannis going to the Clippers.
I can 100% see that, but why, Dex? Why Miami?
I think he's going to respect the organization that one. I think, like Brian said, is going to go after him. Right.
Mhm.
He and Bam share an agent, which
They
is
share an
That's
agent,
true.
so there's that
Yes.
connection too.
Right.
And I think I could see Giannis respecting that culture.
They pursued him before.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I don't know if he wants to stay East. I can see the Clippers. I hadn't thought about that.
Miami will absolutely but I just don't know if Milwaukee will want
to keep him in the conference.
They don't like,
or just it's going to be Wiggins, Hero or Rozier's contract. They don't have a ton of draft picks. They do have their own pick next year, but and 20 this year. Like they have some picks, but I feel like if you're Milwaukee, you can do better.
needed that shot.
Wow,
Jesus.
the Knicks are off to a good start. Look at that stare down.
Brunson
from Brunson
talking to the crowd. 28-15 with 4:46. Brunson has 11 on 4:16.
Oh, you know what? I got to give somebody credit in the chat. The Dad Adventure podcast. He said he would come back. He's a Pistons fan. You know what, Dad Adventure podcast? Salute
Respect,
to you.
honestly.
You came here and you showed up early. You were talking last game. You said it was going to be Detroit basketball. It does not look like that right now.
Still early.
And it's still early. You said my Pistons have got to settle down. Once we settle down, the game will be back to normal. What is normal, sir? I'd like to know what normal is. Does someone know what normal is for you?
Normal in this series has just been a rock fight every game.
Mhm.
So.
This is true. But I got to give him credit. He showed up and he showed up early. He didn't show up late. He's here early. So we appreciate you watching.
Let's see.
That Pac. He's a Pistons fan who was confident that they would win tonight.
Knicks are 11 of 17.
See, that's better.
3 of 7 from 3, which is it's 43%, but that's not that outlandish.
Right.
Yeah. But
the field goal percentage that'll drop, but they're doing a really good job of getting the looks that they want.
They started 1 for 7, 1 for 8 in first quarter last game.
Yeah,
the 3-point shooting in general has just been abysmal because they've been rushing these shots and they've not been setting up their offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Detroit 3 turnovers. Knicks with 1. Look, Knicks are off to a good start.
Yeah.
This is what you want to do on the road and in Game 6.
Detroit's 1 for 5 from 3. They're shooting too quickly on some of these looks, which is playing into the Knicks' hands. If you're the Knicks, you want to speed up the more inexperienced team, and they're doing that so far. I do think Detroit, they'll probably have cleaner offense as the game progresses, but are they going to be able to stop the Knicks from getting some of these looks? Because we were just talking about this a little while ago. The Knicks, have they been making Detroit's defense look better than it is because they've been missing open shots? If you're going to make these open shots, then obviously Detroit's defense is not going to look that great.
Right.
So we'll see. But I wouldn't expect it to remain like this just because the way the series has been. But if it does, it'll favor the Knicks because this is the type of game that you want to play.
Yeah, I think it's the kind of game the fans definitely wanted to see. Shout out to everybody watching. And we want to thank everybody who has been watching through the series. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. New York Pro Sports, we just reached over 100,000 subscribers. So, hey, we're on the road to 200,000.
Oh, so I think there's a plaque that comes with that.
That is.
Yeah.
That is. They gotta send me one. We gotta get. I know the office is getting one. I feel like I should get one personally too. Don't you think I should get a plaque too?
I think you should absolutely have a plaque.
I have there's a good amount of videos that we've done that have done pretty well that have contributed.
I think we should get a plaque.
I'm sure it's only a fraction, but still,
hey,
a little something.
Everything counts. Kavitha's been on with me some videos. I feel like Kavitha should get a plaque too. We'll see what we do.
I'll take any kind of hardware.
We did some of the World Cup, some of the FIBA World Cup stuff we did.
Yeah,
they got 50 and 6. So hey.
No, so thank you everybody for checking in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
We even have the Pistons fans, like the Dad Adventure podcast, who's in here. He says he'll be in and out during the game. One, to make sure I'm back. Respect to all. We respect you, man, for showing up. He says normal is physical defense and making the extra pass to get the better look. Okay.
See, but I love that. That's good fandom, and that's what fandom should be all
No,
about.
respect.
Right?
He's coming.
You
He's
know?
coming to a Knicks watch party. He was respectful. He wasn't trolling. He was confident in his team.
Right.
I liked it. I respect, and he came back. So he enjoyed the conversation last time and came back.
And by the way, he's right. Like that's exactly
He is right.
That's what Detroit needs to do.
Exactly. He's absolutely.
You
right.
know, they're not making an extra pass. They're pulling the trigger. They just showed some celebrities. I didn't see all of them, but Jahmyr Gibbs was among those there. I do wonder, like, we haven't. I don't know if Eminem's there, but we haven't seen him.
We have
Eminem
not
in a
seen.
game.
You know,
There's been no Detroit hip hop connections.
I
that
was
I've seen.
wondering, like,
That T Grizzly
so let me
at
ask.
the game.
Let me ask you this: one, how do you mention T Grizzly first?
Because he's younger. I thought they were gonna go for somebody younger. That's what I did. I was gonna go Royce the 5'9".
Yeah, but T Grizzly, like, low key, kind of just he had one single. You know,
You ain't got to tell me.
he had a couple other verses, but like, I do wonder: have you listened to any Royce the 5'9" in this series at all?
No,
Or has he come on your playlist and you skipped him on purpose?
no, but I did have a Detroit artist I was listening to the other day. Actually, Elzai. I was listening to him the other day. For some, I was listening to him, but no Royce the 5'9". Got to get it up. Ooh,
It's a decent look.
Knicks have here
Wow.
off him.
Josh Hart's been doing a pretty good job of cutting off those Cade drives, though. Just stopping him short of getting deep into the paint when he tries to take him one-on-one. Oh, he had OG and Anunoby in the face.
Got him right in the nose.
Cade Cunningham did.
I mean, the officiating in this so far, I don't know how you guys feel. It feels like it hasn't been too physical, but
I think
seems
the
like
way
they're
they've
letting
been
play.
calling this has been fine. Obviously, they missed a call there, but
yes,
I don't like the inconsistency. I don't like how tight they were calling Game 5 at on both sides of the ball. Seemed a little crazy.
Okay, so we got Dad Adventure Podcast said Eminem is a Lions mainstay. Yes, I saw the Lions brought him out some games during the postseason, but used to show up in 2004-ish. Pistons basketball's Big Sean country.
I think he was there,
All
actually.
right.
I think he was there.
I have seen Big Sean.
Big Sean's a good call.
And I will let people know, because I've been to Little Caesars Arena. Very nice arena. Completely different crowd. I went to a Red Wings game and a Pistons game on
Completely
back-to-back
different
nights.
crowd, I'm
Completely
sure.
The
Yeah.
crowd looks completely different.
Yeah.
Trust me. It looks like what you think.
Not a good possession.
No, it's a
At
terrible
all.
possession there. Win for Detroit there. For
Yeah.
sure.
He got the move on Josh Hart there.
Oh no.
Dennis Schroeder.
Oh no, Dennis Schroeder.
That's not a small thing
No.
for Detroit's bench. It's funny because we were talking about Giannis, and I'm thinking about if Detroit's going to get Cade a number 2. Giannis wouldn't be a number 2, first of all, but he needs a co-star, I guess is the point. I don't think they do it, but I'd at least give Milwaukee a call. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking, I could see Cade and Giannis being complementary to one another. The Clippers, obviously, I feel like the Lakers, you could tie them with anybody. That will make sense.
Oh God.
That'll be
We don't need this.
I know.
Dexter threw up in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we don't need this.
No, I agree.
Even in journalists, it's like, do we need it? No.
Missed free throw.
Yeah, we don't need more of a reason to cover the Lakers.
I had a journalist.
But they're going to do something because they're going to get a center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm the Lakers, I would actually – the Heat aren't going to do this. I would actually call and ask about Bam. If I were the Lakers, I would do that. I would call about Bam. I would call about some of these centers who can anchor a defense.
I mean, AD was screaming about size for weeks before he got traded.
And then they got rid of him.
It's
I
true.
would call Dallas to see if I can get AD back. They're not gonna want Luka.
Nico might do it. Listen,
they're not gonna want Luka.
Nico might.
Oh, good spin,
Beautiful.
Brunson. They left Schroeder out there too, and Brunson attacked him right away after that ankle injury.
Yeah, and he's moving really gingerly. I'm watching him in the left corner right now. He's really not.
He's standing in the corner.
He's just standing there. No cutting.
setting a screen.
Defense made him work.
Oh,
Defense made him work.
You got to tip your hat on that.
Yeah.
that's good coverage.
You'd rather
Yeah.
not give up a 3 at the top of the key, but
Mhm.
I think they defended that pretty well. And Malik Beasley is a knockdown shooter who hasn't been a knockdown shooter except for game 1. So Ugh.
Terrible shot.
What?
Yeah. I know he's forced some threes here that I do not like. Knicks got to be careful here in this last
Yep.
2
Oh,
minutes.
Yep.
Jalen. He bit hard on that.
He
pump,
did.
on that
And Schroeder
fade.
had to take it, even though he had no lift on that shot.
Yeah, that's why he rainbowed it. I would take Schroeder out.
Yeah, Brunson's comfortable against
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
He's real comfortable. He got to a spot.
That's what he should be doing.
Yeah.
32 points in the first quarter. Is that the most they've had in the first quarter of this series?
I believe so. Game 3, they had a good first quarter, but I don't think it was that high. I think it was 27 or 28.
Knew he was pulling up. Have Mitchell Robinson over 5.5 rebounds.
I think they absolutely have to close this quarter well. It's been a nice start to the quarter, but
I also had Knicks in 6 before the series, so
Okay,
what was your
right,
prediction,
all right.
Kavitha?
I had Knicks in 5.
Me too. We were wrong. What did we were
It's
wrong.
all right. It's all right. I didn't lose
Ah.
any money. I just
Yeah,
lost.
that's true. I didn't lose any money in that either. Yeah, my money's fine. Knicks in 5.
I got a small play on Knicks in 6.
Somebody tried to tell me
We are all
chat-
rooting for Bryan to make some money.
Yes.
Not a lot though, because I don't.
Right.
I only play with like the betting money. Like it's not real. Like I mean it. I'm not a $100 bettor, is what I tell people,
Mhm.
despite doing like gambling content. I don't advise people to spend like their
Ah.
savings on gambling.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, most people don't
Yeah,
advise that.
that's what investments are supposed to be for. Investments and gambling are different.
All right,
That's
Knicks
just
are
my
going to get
opinion.
this final shot of the quarter. It could go up by 13, 14.
Double-digit lead. Beasley on him now.
Big shot for
Yes,
Deuce.
Deuce.
That was big.
Deuce.
Oh, Deuce needed that. Man, he needed that. What a quarter for the
All right.
Knicks.
Great
Up
start.
14 after the first quarter. So, got to be feeling good. How are we feeling, fans in the chat? Dad's Adventure Podcast. He said, I'm a white guy, and even I know that this is Big Sean's turf.
That's my type of humor.
I hear you.
It's-
So
yeah.
the Knicks are better when Brunson isn't playing a part on a Broadway show. Understood what you're saying there. They're better when the team is moving the ball around. And I would love to look at the Knicks assists
They're shooting 60%.
in that
They're,
first quarter.
they're 15 for 25 from the field. They're 4
6
for,
assists, 4 from Brunson.
4
6
for
assists
10
on how many made field goals? 15 made field goals?
15. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that's 40% of their shots are assisted. That's what that means. And you have 4 for 10 from 3, which is also 40%, which if you shoot 40% from 3 in a game, you will win more often than not, even in today's NBA where it feels like everyone could shoot. So
Oh, it's a great start by them. How are you less stressed now?
I'm a little less stressed.
A little less stressed. Okay. There we go.
they have some
less
cushion.
I like a little bit of cushion, but even like
But you're a Knicks fan, so you know the cushion's not ever real.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Was it game 4 that they led by 16?
So this was what I was about to say.
Okay.
It was Sunday, right? It was a Sunday afternoon game.
Yeah.
And I think they go up by 15 or 16. And I literally
16.
turned to someone and I was like, I'm not going to be comfortable until we're up by at least 20.
We were sitting here with JJ,
And I was right.
Yeah.
You were right.
Yeah.
And we said in that game, the three of us were like, they need to close this quarter strong. If they finish the quarter above at halftime above double digits, we'd feel good.
Mm-hmm.
They did not, and then everything turned.
Detroit has shooters,
Mm-hmm.
and the Knicks have their cold spells offensively, combined with just now in the NBA, everyone just every third shot or every other shot is a 3-pointer.
Right.
Like, you know, it just feels like it. So with Malik Beasley, you never know. He
Right.
could just go off. Tim Hardaway Jr. could have a quarter.
We've seen it from Schroeder, obviously.
Schroeder.
Like,
Yeah, like it just varies. So I think you're right to feel, hey, 14 is not enough. You know,
because we've gone on some runs. Game 1, legendary run, but we play more of a paced game, fast paced, but more of a paced game. We should be less streaky than that.
yeah.
But especially when you're dealing with a young team, like you said.
Where are you at, Kavitha? Where are you at on Tom Thibodeau? Since
Oh,
he was a big,
oh, here we go. Are you part of the Minutes Police?
he was a big part, the biggest part of our discussion last game. I would
So
say.
without giving up too much confidence,
Yeah, the fact you sighed said everything.
no, without giving
And
up too much
laughed.
confidence, I had this exact conversation with our wonderful friend Douglas Burns yesterday.
Ah,
Shout out to Doug if you're watching.
shout out
So-
to
I wouldn't say I'm part of the Minutes Police, but
Doug. Okay.
I think that history has shown that sometimes Tibbs is not the most
Adaptable?
adaptable. So the word I used to Doug was malleable.
Malleable. Yeah, it's a good
He's
word,
not the
yeah.
most malleable. He's got a game plan. He's very by what his book says. He's not good at adapting, being malleable to how his players are looking in that moment, how they're playing together, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of,
speaking of, there he
Yeah.
is.
I mean, I could have predicted his answer there.
Right, yeah, I was thinking
I don't know
that.
why we like stopped to listen.
because just for confirmation. I suppose.
Not to say that Tibbs doesn't say things that are wrong, like play discipline, take care of the ball, read the game.
But he's very by
by the book.
Yes.
Go, I'm
the
sorry.
Tibbs
No,
book
you're
in
fine, you're fine.
particular.
We cut you off, but
No,
continue.
You're 100%. But like, so, but what I will say is,
There it is again.
oh,
That pass.
oh,
That was Paul Reed that time, but they're looking for that a lot.
yeah.
A lot. And Paul Reed's actually a decent passing big, so he could hit that pass too.
So Tom Thibodeau, not malleable. We know
Not
this.
malleable.
Mm.
Good pass.
Oh,
Mm.
Oh, I actually love that pass.
This is why Mitch doesn't get the offense that he wants in terms
Mhm.
of touches, because he's, if it's
When
not
he gets the ball, he does it.
if it's
sometimes
not an
once.
alley oop or a putback, you're holding your breath.
well, he's got very little lift left also.
It's an
So,
adventure, yeah.
and one of my friends, what do you say? Frying pan hands.
I like frying pan hands is better than stone hands. You should get stone hands, frying pan hands.
Shout
I
out
like
to
that.
Ethan
See, look,
Fedita for frying pan
again,
Shout out
hands.
to
that
Ethan.
cut.
Wait, is Ethan the same dude?
Same
I'm
Ethan.
not gonna put your business out there. We had some conversation about you before the show.
All good things.
Hopefully, he's better after what you told me. That's all. That's all I'm wishing for you, Ethan. Although frying pan hands, that's good. I'm gonna have to use that one, and I will credit you, Ethan. That's good. I like that.
Bad free throw shooter alert. Asar Thompson. He had 22 points and he could have had 26, I
Yeah.
think,
Wow, easy
last
if he
game
hit-
or something
even if
like
he hit
that.
Some of his free throws. Do you think? What did you think of Tibbs' decision to not call the timeout?
So this is like to wrap this around. I think
Mm.
so. As I said to Doug, I have my like in the moment fan. Are we allowed to curse here?
Yes, we are.
Okay. I had the in the moment fan. What the fuck are you doing? Reaction.
Is that your face? What
That
do
is-
you say too? Yo, what the fuck are you doing? That's a real face, people.
I think I made
Oh,
exactly
it's
that
campaign
face.
time, Dex.
Oh, are we going with the? Are we? What are we at? 8 men now? 8-man rotation.
I mean, that's him being malleable, I guess.
Well, the
Uh,
9-man rotation in
It's
game
for-
one,
it's
right?
for now. He's gonna get. He'll play 8, but like he may stick with 6.
Right.
That's
in the
thing.
second half. That's a
because
good point.
because
Well-
7 and 8 may only get a shift.
And so that's the malleable thing, right? Because I think I saw a stat that was our starting 5 is -5 for the series.
Which is crazy because
That-
starting 5 was one of the better groups
Right.
starting in the
it
season.
tracks given the runs that Detroit has had
Right.
at times where
Yeah.
we'll be looking at like, why isn't Towns doing this defensively?
Mhm.
Why is Mikal Bridges gambling here? Why, like Jalen Brunson, they're attacking him. So that doesn't surprise me that much.
Yeah.
Asar Thompson missing more free throws. Honestly, just keep fouling
I'm happy.
him.
I'm happy to see it.
Happy to see it. So
I'd rather
you,
see him than Mitch at the line.
so did you have the what the fuck you doing face
So-
when he didn't call the timeout?
in real time for sure. And I also earlier in like that sequence before the timeout, I think he took way too long to bring Cat back out. I understand that Cat had five fouls, and I was
Yeah.
having to start. Someone was like, he's holding him for overtime, and I'm
Mitch
very
too.
much of the opinion,
Yeah.
get to overtime first, right?
Didn't worry about the other stuff
Right.
that later.
Yeah.
Now the journalist, more measured, Kavitha. You gotta have two. Compartmentalization is imperative in this job. Oof, wonderful. His outside shot has just been like when he's getting it and he's getting the space.
Confident.
Yeah. I understand where the decision comes from. It's not just by the book to be by the book.
Mhm.
It's the, if you're down by 2 possessions, keep at least 2 timeouts. If you're down by 1 possession, keep 1. I understand that.
Understand
So I get where he's coming from. I think that's an in-game feel thing, and I can name a ton of head coaches who would not have made that call, and I don't think would have been dragged for it. So,
Ooh, nice putback by Cat. I agree. I think they wouldn't have been dragged by it because people have seen him be more malleable at other times before.
Sure.
But because I love that you set this up, but because of the way, good steal by Campaign.
Campaign time.
That always makes me nervous. But
He
because
took a shot before
but
this,
because
and it
he's the
wasn't that
way
close.
that he is, I don't think fans will give him the benefit of the doubt most times. Oh
Yeah.
my God, Cat
just
launching. I wasn't even mad at him
It's
for that.
very unnecessary, but I get it.
I think that's. I mean, I think that's fair, Dex, and I think that's also.
See, Cat just lunging at him for no reason said like Malik Beasley was actually off balance because the pass was so far here that Cat allowed him to reset dribble to his right and
Get in
create a
rhythm.
better look.
Mhm.
Like it's little things like that that just allows the 3-pointer open. I don't like Cat didn't need to charge into him like that because obviously he's gonna pump fake and try to drive by you or just
Well,
sidestep three.
Exactly, because what's actually the point of driving at him at that point?
You're not gonna block the shot. I
Right.
mean, you shouldn't even like just you're late anyway.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, he was like 10 feet away trying to close out. Yeah. Look,
I think that's a really important part of the like, Knicks fans, I love us, I really do, but we are among the most reactionary
oh my God. All right.
and we have long memories.
Look at that. Good
Yeah.
cat pass to Mitchell Robinson, and he just absolutely just did not at all.
The pass was good, but also you got to look at sometimes you got to be like, but you're passing to Mitchell Robinson.
Again, frying pan hands.
Frying pan hands.
That
There
is-
we go.
If you're Cat, you trust like he'll catch this one,
Right.
but he didn't.
Well, because at least they're like similar heights, so
They called the charge there.
Yeah. Campaign's giving good minutes. Outside of that shot he took, he's giving good minutes. Dad Adventure Podcast. He's asking for stuff. Dear Knicks, it's been 17 years since our last home playoff win. My wife and I just celebrated our 16th anniversary today. I'm asking for a nice anniversary. That is all. I'm here to tell you, sir, happy anniversary to you and your wife. But your anniversary has nothing to do with the Knicks getting this win tonight. Nothing at all.
I not to stereotype, your wife might be a huge Pistons fan. However, I'm rooting for your wife not to have to watch basketball for the rest of this celebration.
I realized he said today.
Again,
I'm like, yeah,
what
she
happened
probably
there?
does not want to do that right now. Oh,
Okay,
no.
all right. This
Back
is,
to an 8-point game,
see,
2 threes from Beasley.
and this is exactly what you were talking about.
Mitchell Robinson is not being a great roller here. Is not giving great minutes. I think he's
No.
going to come out. As much as you would probably think that the Knicks need the double big lineup, every
liked it
time
at
they keep trying to
times.
pass to him, it hasn't worked.
No, he's got 2 rebounds.
Only 2.
He's a -5 right
What do you think about the double big lineup?
I think they need to go to it, but
Mhm.
at times. But the problem is like Mitch is close to a 0 offensively,
Right.
So it's like when you're trying to hit him as a roller, it's risky unless you're going to throw a lob.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks don't have like the greatest lob passers in the NBA either. Like that's part of it too. So, but they do need it at times because Cat as an anchor defensively, like even against Detroit, like there are times where again, like Jalen Duren's at the free throw line and it's like, all right, Cat has to press up. So someone backdoor cuts on Mikal Bridges or Josh Hart every single time.
Yep.
And this team all season long, they get scared when Cat's on an island defensively.
Totally. Yeah.
So they'll overplay, and then that's how somebody else cuts and finds their way to the basket and is open, and then there's a layup, and you're going back the other way. So
Right.
Mitchell Robinson, like I think it's a look that they need to go to, but unless he's playing really well and dominating on the glass, I don't think they can close with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I think that's fair.
there's been a couple games this series where I'm like, oh, they can close with them.
You saw flashes of it in the third quarter of game 5 for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Like he needs to be doing enough defensively to justify the minutes and on the glass. Like if he's because Cat's not getting offensive rebounds like that this series. So if Mitchell Robinson has like 5 offensive rebounds, yeah, you need him to stay out there. Like what was it yesterday where he had like 8 rebounds in the first quarter or something
Yeah,
along those lines?
It was crazy in game 5. He was fantastic.
You got to keep him out there if that's the case.
The
Right.
problem is when he starts hurting you a little bit offensively.
Yeah.
Dad Adventure Podcast said that he's eating Oreos and we're making threes now. I need a lot more Oreos. Also,
Oreos.
his wife could care less about sports. So that means she cares
Oreos
about
is-
the anniversary.
That's what I was
And
saying. I was like,
and like
I'm-
Dad Adventure Podcast, what are you doing today?
I'm rooting. So I'm rooting for Dad Adventure Podcast's wife right now.
There you go.
Oreos are
Your
pretty
team
good.
team is wife.
Oreos are a good game snack also.
That is a
Like
great game
as far
snack,
as
yeah.
like desserts go,
Mhm.
or cookies. or
Oreos
whatever.
is a game
like
snack.
not actual like food. I
Yeah,
mean,
but-
it's food, but you know what I mean.
My daughter would
Junk
agree.
food. There you go.
She would agree with that. She
I think
agree.
I would eat too many of them. I think I would like
That's
look
why
down and like the sleeve would be gone.
That's the problem. You know, that's the
It's
problem. with-
it's sneaky. That's a
Right.
sneaky good snack.
yeah,
Right?
They'll
because
catch
you can't have one Oreo.
No,
Like it's one of the rules.
it's like you can't have one churro. Like, no,
Yes, tough.
don't start with me. You can't have one churro.
Wait, are you about to say you don't like churros?
It depends.
On?
Look.
This is worse
okay,
than my tater tot take.
I went to Spain recently.
Sure.
Those churros are amazing.
Yes.
The
I
ones
agree.
now
Everything's not equal.
I can't go back.
Now you can't go back.
The ones we have here.
This is a very Kavitha statement here too. Kavitha talked about she's very highbrow, lowbrow at the same time with the food.
no,
They give
but
you-
here's the
in
thing.
Spain, this is the thing. They give you they
Excuse
eat this for like breakfast or like a snack during it's
Right.
churros with hot chocolate.
Right.
All right.
That's a
Churros
great
con
combo.
churros con chocolate.
Mhm.
And you dip it into the hot chocolate.
Oh, that sounds
and
great.
it's not like the thin churros we have here that have mad sugar on them. They're bigger, they're fluffy, they're
Mhm.
hot. You know, you dip
Yeah.
it in the hot chocolate.
The insides are like
it's-
slightly underbaked, and so it like
Yeah. It's
Oh.
churros in
it's
Spain are
amazing.
I need-
There's
I need
apparently
that- I need
places
that.
there's apparently places here that do that. Like because you
there
know,
are a lot. We have a
We
lot.
have all the authentic stuff you can
Right.
tap into in New York. You
Right.
just got to look for them.
You just have to find them.
No,
This is like
listen.
I always get mad when people say New York doesn't have good Mexican food because first of all, you
No,
have no
you're
idea
wrong.
where you're going.
Yeah,
You've
you
never
have
been
no
to
idea where
Corona,
Yeah,
clearly.
well, Corona's got great Mexican
because
food.
they're only talking about like Manhattan specifically.
Well, but even in Manhattan, as a born and raised Manhattanite, shout out to Washington Heights.
Mm,
Uh,
well, a little more culture in Washington Heights.
I mean,
than
fair
other
enough.
Parts of Manhattan.
fair enough. There, surprisingly, there's actually very good Mexican food in Hell's Kitchen of all places. But the other thing that I will say is, I like Jalen also. Jalen missed a technical
Yeah.
free throw that frustrated me. But you cannot compare our Mexican food to, let's say, Tex-Mex or California's Mexican food, because our immigrants from Mexico came from different parts of Mexico than
Yes,
theirs
yes,
did.
yes.
So we have very good Oaxacan food and Pueblan
Pueblan
food,
food,
and that's just
yes.
not what most people think of as Mexican,
With Mexican food.
Yes.
You're right.
But we'll kick anybody's ass in Puerto Rican food.
100%. 100. Listen, I had to
They're not
live
messing
in
with that.
I had to live in LA for a year, and I did not realize that LA did not have Puerto Ricans, and I had no
We
idea
don't.
what was happening.
Look, we're here. We're in Jersey. We're in Philly. We're in Rhode Island. We're in
Orlando.
a little bit of Massachusetts.
Connecticut,
we're
I've
all
recently,
Connecticut,
right?
all over Orlando. Yes, Orlando is it's Kissimmee. You know those areas. Apparently Cleveland too, which I've never met a Puerto Rican from Cleveland, but according to anything I've looked at in terms
Ooh.
of charts, like we're out there. So
Okay, yeah,
and Chicago also forgot.
just not in LA.
Yeah,
Not in
not
LA.
in LA. No,
What are you doing?
is that out on
What's
Hart?
that? Shout out to my
Clumsy
daughter
drive.
Simone, who is watching. Hi, hey, Simi.
Hi, Simi.
Hey,
Hi,
Joy.
Simi.
She's always watching. She taps in everyone.
Oh,
Hit that
good
like
daughter.
button. Hit that like button, Simi. Yeah, no, I mean the Knicks. I think here's another part where I'm worried about them a
Mhm.
little bit. It's a 7-point game. Can he close this quarter? I know it's still under 7 minutes to go here in the quarter. Can they close this quarter strong? It's going to be very interesting.
Ooh, if they let that play develop more, Paul Reed set a back pick over here and Towns was out of position. They could have had a corner
The
three, so
pass.
the Knicks got away with one.
But
That was disgusting,
Yeah.
but
Doesn't know what to do with it.
I still like the movement. Like
Mhm.
Brunson didn't bring the ball up. Bridges brought it, got it to Towns. That's a good pass. He got hacked. You got to live with that.
yeah, that's a collision that Paul Reed's out of position, so that's going to be a foul on the defender more often than not.
It's good. Kavitha, where are you on this whole 100 random men versus a gorilla conversation? Because I think there's a lot of nonsense. I feel people are disrespecting the gorilla.
They are 100% disrespecting the
It's absolutely
gorilla.
disrespectful. like we sat here and this man right here tried to be like the 100 men could win.
Look,
Did you see Van
again-
Lathan? Did you see what Van Lathan? Did you see
I love Van.
Did you see Van Lathan?
However,
Although I got to give Van
No,
credit.
he's got the best.
He had the whiteboard.
He's
and
got
he
the
had the
idea.
best
He did.
strategy.
like that.
He
Again,
did.
His strategy
he said the
is
same
not
thing I
illogical.
said in terms of like, listen, I think when people say the 100 men would win, I think people think, oh, that means all 100 men are going to survive. And it's like, no, we're losing at least 50.
I
right?
see. Okay.
But,
All right.
But in terms of outlasting
It's like a
the
tower
gorilla,
defense
yeah,
game.
yeah. Like, not all 100 men are going to make it, but I do think 100 is too much.
I think the
maybe only 25 make it.
Use 40 as bait, basically, right?
that's
Listen.
damn. Human bait for a gorilla.
Look, I could also pick out like who I wouldn't mind being bait.
No,
We can
I'm
save
not
that
gonna.
for
I'm not
another-
gonna.
yeah, We're not doing that. We're not doing that here.
This conversation, so just because I think men tend to overestimate themselves is really
1000%.
what
I
it
think that's a lot to
is.
do with this.
That's always the case.
And you know how it's not a comparison, obviously, because I have way more respect for her than anybody in the world. But I forgot what the exact percentage, but it was a percentage more than 1% of men thought they could beat Serena Williams in a single game of tennis.
There are men who think they could beat
Brianna Stewart run on one.
I was literally thinking of a WNBA player I could name.
Right.
I've heard this. I'm like, you cannot.
I wasn't even gonna say Brianna Stewart. I was gonna say like even even like Jordan Canada.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like a point guard
Mhm.
who is 5'8" and
I
I'm
don't
like,
understand how good that person is. That's the
Right.
disrespect
No,
of it.
it's right. But it's in that case, it's both the disrespect to the women, but it is also still an overestimating of like what you've done at your yacht club tennis tournament.
Yes.
Like,
yes, not quite the same.
You know,
it's not always
Somebody
that though.
played-
It's also guys who haven't played where they're like, I'll figure
that
it
looks
out.
easy enough. Well, like guys who have never swung a baseball bat
Yeah.
and
yeah.
they think it,
Yeah, it's the worst. I think a lot of that is happening here. What my thing, and Brian sent this to me the other night after the show.
now they're forcing.
6-point game only too.
I know. This is what
4:45
they gotta watch. They gotta watch here.
They're up,
Oh, it's a good pass.
and they're
Bad
gonna
foul.
and
It's
that's
a
a
terrible
foul.
foul.
You know, Brunson should have called him a flopper.
I think he looked at him too.
He should.
Let's see. Was he off bat? What happened here?
Oh man.
Okay. Brunson got caught underneath.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're gonna call that
Yeah, they had to.
because of the contact.
I don't think he was trying.
I was like,
he
why
wasn't
was
trying to
Brunson there? But I mean, he got caught. Someone had to contest the roller, and Jalen Duren, he's not automatic from the free throw line.
foul. Hey, look, you knew Detroit was going to make a run. 4:44 to go. You got to close the quarter better.
DJ31 says Bridges is making me throw up.
Yeah, he's missed some open threes. He missed a couple open threes. I don't think he's been bad or anything.
I don't think he's been great.
Oh, Miss Cat.
Oh, might have gotten away with a travel.
Yeah, I mean,
low-key.
he almost dribbled it off his foot too.
Yeah, don't like that shot by OG.
Again, this is another.
Watch
This
Duren.
is another instance where, like, Cat. Oh,
Wow, that's a.
How many
dagger.
threes does Beasley have in this
Three, I
half?
believe.
3, I think.
All in this quarter, I believe too.
His over under was 2.5.
I'd
Josh
like-
Hart has the right idea there.
Mhm.
Just get to. They had numbers kind of. And see, he's trying. Look at him. He's trying to actually galvanize them because he can feel the rope. He can feel them letting go of the rope.
Yep,
Beasley is nuts. I mean,
his release was crazy on that.
5 for 8.
that's an in rhythm 3 for him. Like, he's one of those dudes. Like, he doesn't always need to be set.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's frustrated to guard. I think this is one of those runs where Knicks fans get frustrated with Cat. It's like you should be going to get the ball now, especially if you have a mismatch. You should be going to get the ball.
He had a very quiet second quarter.
That's why. You haven't felt the
passivity.
much.
Yeah.
These 4 minutes are important for the Knicks. You got to try to get this up. I would say, even if it's to 6 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
can you get it up there?
Beasley has
He's 5 for 8 from 3.
5 for 9. I thought he had
5 for
3
9.
threes.
Jeez. Okay.
Jesus. So, wow.
Yeah.
I should have took us over. I really wanted to, because I was like, 2 games in a row.
Oh,
He
wow,
burned me.
he's feeling himself.
Oh, that must be the
That was the
9.
9.
Yeah. Cat only has 6 field goal attempts, by the way. More than I thought, but
Yeah, but it just speaks to what you were saying. Like he can't.
everyone else has more, I think. Almost.
Why did he
Right.
miss Josh Hart in the corner?
Yeah, and now
That's the wrong pass.
Mm.
Bridges' shot has just been flat.
I kind of think he's taking the right shots, though.
Bridges?
Yeah.
No, we're bad. I'm not. No.
Like,
I'm not complaining about the
I'm not saying
shot.
you're disagreeing, but I'm like,
No.
he's
He's taking
he's
good
just
shots. He's just missing them. Yeah. That's it.
look at that. Field goals this quarter. 4 for 15 for the Knicks. 9 for 15
Mhm.
for Detroit. 9 for 15. That's 60%.
Fans,
Right.
we got a fan
So
already
just
in the
flip.
chat saying that Tibbs should have taken a timeout.
I'm a little surprised he didn't. Actually, a little surprised he didn't. They've only used one also, so I kind of get that. But some coaches who are old school, they're like play through it.
I think this is there you go. Bridges responding there.
Mismatch. He went against Dennis Schroeder there.
I have no data or anything to back this up, but the whole play through it thing I think can work. I have not seen it work under Tibbs' management. I just have
it
like
doesn't work for
every
him.
single time I have been like, you need to stop the bleeding, and he hasn't, and it's just bled further.
I wonder who would have data for that. Because
Like-
I would wonder what that says.
Like, and
Right.
what do you count as a play through? Like, what point in
team
a run?
like a team giving up a
Let's say it's
lead.
like a 7-0 run, an 8-0 run, maybe.
I would, yeah,
but it has to include a lead shift.
or the team who gave
Okay.
up a 10-point lead and doesn't call a timeout. Like, what's the result? It would be a
Right.
hard thing to like put into.
It's a hard
any-
thing to measure.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to measure, but I would love to see data on it if it existed.
But
Also-
that's you know what I mean? That's one of those things that you know when you see it.
Right. Good
That's a good pass.
Excellent
Beautiful.
pass there by Josh Hart.
That's a good pass.
Wow.
OG cut at the right time too, and Josh Hart
This
just kept it moving.
This
you
is
know?
when the Knicks office has been at its best, when guys are moving, they're getting these assists.
Mhm.
And look, Detroit was going to make a run. So for the Knicks fans who didn't think they were going to, like, they were going to make a run here. It's about how the Knicks close this quarter.
Defending Cade well, Mikal Bridges. There's
Mikel's had a good defensive series.
another screen. Oh, wow. That's way too
Knicks
easy.
got lucky
Got
there.
away with one.
Yep.
See, they got too focused on Cade. They forget there's
Mhm.
shooters in the
Ooh.
corners.
Yeah. I like the Knicks attacking the rim. They got some quality shots. So that's it. Robert Rivera says Bridges is pretty terrible on wide open threes. I'd rather somebody be draped on him. He has hit some shots in the series when people have been draped on him.
All right, to be fair, he's 0 for 3 and Jalen's 1 for 4 from 3. So perception a little bit, right? But I mean, we're all frustrated with Bridges for a lot of different reasons. So
Yes. I think I don't know if anybody needs a
He's
big
the
playoff
punching bag
moment.
of the season.
He
pretty
is,
much.
but does anybody need a playoff moment more than that guy? He needs.
I would love for him to get it.
I think, and I said it when this game
From an
happened.
offensive
I said from
standpoint.
offensive
Oh,
standpoint.
yeah.
Because he's been fantastic defensively. in the
defensively,
series.
he's had a good series.
Did we need another Final Destination?
We don't need this many horror films. We don't need all these scary ass. Like, I get it. The apocalypse is near. Like
Look.
it's we've never had.
Oh,
a
you got
greater-
information on
You
that?
know, I mean, just
Where's that parlay?
look around.
Yeah. What's the odds on the apocalypse by 2030?
Do you remember when the apocalypse was supposed to happen in 2012?
Yes, I remember that.
I worked for the Huffington Post at the time, and we threw an end of the world party just as an excuse to throw
On
a
what
party.
day? Do you remember?
On whatever day it was supposed to. Like,
oh yeah, because
the-
it was
like
an
the-
actual day. It was like in June.
There was a
if I remember.
movie that came
Something
out
like
called
that,
2012 about this.
Right,
I mean, look,
right.
to be fair, we were 8 years off. So
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you think the proliferate? Do you think the whole like horror movie saturation thing is because those are kind of the only movies other than like Planet Earth documentaries that you actually need to go see in a theater, and maybe a Marvel movie?
I guess
Do I need to go see a horror movie in the theater?
I don't feel horror is not my.
Do you
bag.
feel
It's
like-
not my bag either, but I feel like the visuals are half the thing here, right?
I hear what you're saying, and then also the ambiance of being like literally in the dark.
And like
I get
everybody
that.
being scared together, right?
I get. Do you still go to movie theaters?
I just want to see Sinners on my birthday.
Oh well, yeah, that makes sense. Everyone's
I'm
going
trying to
see
remember
Sinners.
what the
Before
last movie
Sinners.
in a theater I saw.
I don't
was.
go as much as I used to. I would say if I go to the movies in a year, like now, more of my movie going is taking my daughter to see movies she wants to see.
Okay. Yeah.
For myself, maybe there's 2 or 3 a year I go to. If I'm being completely honest,
I
Yeah.
don't even go that often. I haven't been in years. I don't even know what's the last time I've been to the theater. It's
guess
been a
it's something I
while,
really wanted to see Sinners.
though.
I went and saw
Definitely
that. Yeah.
definitely before COVID. Whatever was the last movie I saw. It was definitely before COVID. So
Yeah.
it's been at least a half decade.
So you're not a big
and
movie
more
person.
of a documentary person.
I'm a
anyway.
huge documentary. So I go to. So I'll be in Tribeca. Doc NYC. I've got a couple of friends who are filmmakers, and I've been in a couple
I think I
docs as
still get
well.
emails from them.
So, no, I'm a huge documentary person, and I will go and watch a documentary any day of the week. I can't justify seeing a movie It's this kind of like I can't justify the expense of going to Giant Stadium unless,
To see a team that's not good.
well, also that. But it's going to cost $300. It's going to be cold, and my viewing experience at home is just better.
But see, I think that's a lot of it. I think that's where one second. I think that's where we're getting. People's home experience is starting to get so much better that they're like, is it really worth it? I still like going to see a movie, but I think it is. Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
DJ 31. I'm a Mets fan. Should we give Bridges a standing ovation?
No.
Okay. Great. Robert Rivera. Horror movies are great because they're good even when they're bad.
That is not true. Absolutely not true.
I laugh. I laugh when they're
If
bad.
a horror movie's making me laugh, that means it's not good.
Right.
Can you give me an example?
Tell
Rob?
me a bad horror movie that you enjoyed, Rob Rivera. I dismissed you, but I'm willing to hear what you have.
I'm willing to hear it out. Dad Adventure Pod says apocalypse happens at halftime of the Lions' first Super Bowl.
That's a good joke.
Spoken like a Lions fan too.
They will be playing the Browns. Oh, it actually gets
Oh
worse.
my goodness! Lions versus Browns in the Super Bowl.
They'll be playing the Browns, and it'll be a tie when the world ends.
That's very scary. It'll
That's
be
scary.
Jared Goff versus Shador Sanders.
Nicholas Frederico, thank you for checking in. What we really want to know is what is on the menu tonight.
I will get to what's on the menu. We didn't have much snacks here, but I did bring myself, which I'll be eating at halftime, not in front of you guys, because you guys don't like me eating wings or anything in front of you. I do have a little curry chicken meal taste. We got some curry chicken in the building.
There we go.
I had a quarter grilled chicken with chicken rice before I got here.
And you had
salad.
I had a birria pizza at this Italian Mexican joint in Astoria.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had some chicken from the neighborhood in Queens.
Not bad. Knicks 10 of 10. Knicks hitting their free throws today, people.
Sinners is gory, but not a jumpstart movie. It's got
it's definitely not a jump scare movie.
And then D Gun says Brunson's defense is so horrific. Oh, hand in the cookie jar foul.
Yeah, that's Hart. Is that 3 on Hart?
That is 3 on Josh Hart.
Yep.
No one else is more than 2. OG Anunoby is 2. I've never seen Tobias be so like out of his shell than I have this series.
He'll still disappear in the fourth quarter. He'll find a way to disappear.
Talking shit to Karl-Anthony Towns, posing to the crowd, talking in general, just talking.
The role player that scares me for Detroit, I feel like most Knicks fans would agree, it's like Beasley.
Yeah.
It's and Schroeder. I'll put Schroeder right there too.
Yeah.
Like Tim Hardaway Jr. and Tobias Harris. I don't care. I can hit 7 shots in a row, and I'm like, we all know what's coming.
Tim Hardaway Jr. just because it's personal, but not because of the skill.
Yes.
It's funny because I think a lot of, or some people would say those 2 are the better players.
I agree with that.
I don't.
Schroeder's ankle sure looks fine now.
I would take Beasley and Schroeder over Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm building it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I respect those guys.
I like Tobias's game. I just don't like
Knicks can't get too ISO heavy here. This is the concern.
There's the help from Tobias. Oh,
what was that?
Deuce went to cut at the wrong time. Miscommunication. But this is what happens when you hold the ball for too long.
Yep.
Guys don't know what to do, and then it's like, should I stay? Should I go? Should I cut?
But also, they've figured out how to collapse on Jalen. Like,
yeah.
Detroit has made those adjustments for sure. Hey, I mean, this is normal for a Dad Adventure podcast.
Also, where is Cat?
Has Cat taken a shot in this
well,
I think that 3
and
from
the Pistons have the lead.
The 3 from 40 feet out or whatever.
Oh,
that was the last shot.
That may have been this quarter.
First lead of
and
the
Cat
night.
has Duran on him, that's a matchup you like more than Tobias.
So 2 games in this series, the Knicks have been up 15 in the first half and blown the lead, not in the first half.
Just lost the ball.
And Brunson with a turnover. Him and Duran getting into it.
Okay, why are we cutting away to the crowd? I want to see what's going on between Jalen Brunson and Jalen Duran.
And they had a camera person literally right there.
Yeah. I hate why? Show us the fight.
This is I don't know how they've been outscored, but this is not a good
if there's
quarter
a fight
for the Knicks.
I forgot you're the fights guy.
Yes, he's a combat sports guy.
I got breakdowns on all the fights this weekend up now on YouTube. That looked like it was good.
I know, right?
Could the Knicks take back the lead before halftime?
Oh, missed him. That was too late.
Again,
Good adjustment by
I mean,
Bridges. That was a tough.
Second
That was a
time.
tough adjustment because he should have hit him earlier.
he had to like change his center of gravity.
Yeah,
and,
he
like,
did.
Yeah.
You
Second
saw him
time
have
he
to
did
hold
that.
for a second.
Yeah.
Second time he's had to do that. Good point, Brian. All right, Knicks get the lead back. Can they get a stop?
They didn't give Cade the switch there. Good defense so far.
They're gonna try for it again. Give it to him. Push.
OG got away with one. He just sagged off a little
All right.
too far,
Yep.
but
8 seconds. Come on.
Cade's not like the best shooter in the world, so it's fine. Ugh.
Stepped out.
Just a clumsy drive
It's
from
just-
the beginning.
Why do you have Cat?
Why do you have Cat bring the ball up first of all?
Cat. That was him on his own. That's not a.
Yeah.
That's that's where I'd say the players have agency. He goes on his own there. What are you doing? The drivers. Would you call? He said clumsy.
Yeah, it was
clumsy.
clumsy.
Mhm.
He didn't look in control from the moment he
Beasley
got it.
taking
Oh,
a
boy.
shot at the end of the half.
Oh,
Of
wow.
Of course.
6 threes in the
Wow.
half. Of course, Beasley hit today. As soon as I knew it.
6 threes?
Six
I think
threes.
that is.
It's 6 threes.
Look at
of course. Tips is like,
Yeah.
you gotta be fucking kidding me.
You know?
So that was a 14-point lead they had.
15-point lead that they had.
Yeah, it was their
Beasley is 6 for 11, and they're all threes.
Ridiculous.
but that's how you gum up the variance against a team that's more talented. Like
Mhm.
that's what he's supposed to be doing, and that's what the Knicks have to try to take away in the second half.
hmm
You have that big. That's like your best first quarter of the series, and it's already gone.
How many? The Pistons had what? 38 points in that quarter. Yes, 38.
38.
They scored 38 in the quarter.
Yeah.
The Knicks only had 22
Yeah.
after a 37-point first quarter for the Knicks.
And at one point, Detroit was shooting 9 for 15. I don't know what that ended as, but they
Man,
definitely maintained like close to 60%, if not 60% plus. in that
Knicks
quarter.
fans, how are you feeling? Kavitha, you were feeling good. It was all good just a quarter ago.
I know.
It was all good just a quarter ago. Now it's not.
Now I'm back to being frustrated.
All right, let us know how you feel in the chat.
We got some comments.
Dad Adventure Podcast, he's feeling good. Detroit mother effing basketball. Man, your anniversary night has turned around. Your wife might actually want to talk to you now that Detroit took the lead.
Robert
You're happier.
Rivera says the first quarter is very promising. These teams are much closer than I thought. Knicks can't handle good fortune, it seems.
I knew when Beasley got the ball's trouble. I said it. You guys saw me say it.
Because that's what Detroit wanted. It's like, listen, he's the guy that's taking all the 3-point shots.
Man. Now if you are the Knicks, you're like, hey, Beasley went crazy. We've done it okay. Other than that, we saw what worked for us. We could be fine.
Here's the thing, though, and I'm gonna check this just to make sure. Yeah, Cade. So Cade has taken 8 shots, is 11 points. So he's not like having an
Not bad.
amazing.
He's okay.
He's not playing poorly.
But he had 4 points in the first half of the last game.
Right. Yeah. So like, there's room for growth
Yeah.
in Cade's game, which is I think worrisome for the Knicks. And also on top of that, like, and this is the thing that's going to be frustrating to Knicks fans. You see at the start of third quarters a lot. What's the first play? Jalen Brunson isolation. He
Mhm.
dribbles around for 10 seconds. Nothing really happens. And it's like, all right, Jalen Brunson one-on-one, try to get to the spot in the mid-range area, shoot a fall-away jumper. Maybe you get fouled or whatever. And they have to come out strong. Remember Mikal Bridges said after, was it last game?
They got to
like,
change up some
do
stuff.
layup lines or
Something.
something.
They have to. This is the most important third quarter of the year for the Knicks. No, I'm serious.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
it
I
is.
mean, yes.
Yeah, but
No,
like, really, I mean,
With a 3-1 lead in the 3-2 lead
you
in the
have to
playoffs.
come out strong here, and you got to come out like you did in the first quarter,
Yeah.
and you got to punch the Pistons in the mouth. But we're gonna step aside so we have our little halftime break so we can stretch our legs. We'll come back, keep rocking with us. Juliana Turtle, I see you there. You said it was brutal. You are right. It was brutal. That was pretty bad. We'll be back. Quick break. Dexter Henry, Bryan Fonseca, Kavitha Davidson. We'll be back with you. All right, we're back here for the second half, and what's going to be an important third quarter for the Knicks. Robert Rivera in the chat says, hopefully they have the layup line going. Well, it's already done. We'll see. Pistons
find
with the
out.
ball first. We'll find out. I'm sticking with my statement. Most important third quarter for the Knicks of the season, obviously.
And let them take terrible shots, honestly.
Yeah. All the way to the basket, Mikal. I like that.
Beautiful.
I like that, Mikal Bridges.
Not in isolation. Jalen Brunson doesn't even touch the ball.
Good help. Cookies.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, you like two.
Not the start that they've typically had
Sure.
coming out of halftime.
But listen, if OG can be a little bit of a defensive menace,
Just a bit like that.
the 3 blocks, like,
Yeah. I think Knicks fans will sign for. Look, Bridges bring up the ball again. Knicks have done that a lot in this game, more than any other game in the series.
It's like they're trying to keep the ball out of Brunson's hands for the start of
I like that
the start of
Brunson
the
did not
possession.
force that shot.
Yeah, I like that they're trying to bring him off the ball too.
Oh, that could have been a foul. Okay.
There's an offensive rebound from Towns.
finally.
Knicks got the lead. Good start.
So is he only going to be aggressive on the ball on rebounds? Like after a miss? Is that what we're expecting here?
I mean, that's what we've seen.
All right.
Push that all the way, Bridges.
Oh,
Oh,
You got a foul.
similar to the first quarter where Detroit's all like just frazzled to
Mhm.
start, and the Knicks are actually like firing a little. I mean, it's only been a few possessions, but all the possessions have looked good. They've looked clean. They've gotten decent looks.
Yeah.
Towns gets an offensive rebound, goes right back up with it, doesn't play around.
you'd much rather see Mikal driving than trying to take that out.
Which
that
he
fourth
hasn't
shot.
done.
Yeah.
He's
And
12 shots in this game.
yeah, he hit 7 of them. Like, no threes. I saw people complaining about him missing the threes. I'm like, he's
Right.
been all right. Like,
Right.
Mikal Bridges has become the punching bag. And to his credit, he talked about there need being layup line. He went for 2 layups this far. He's done his part. You got to give that man credit. He's done his part. That's all I'm saying. Got the layup line going. Now, I just think I think sometimes he's gotten a lot of there's critiques of him that are fair. But
Wow,
Knicks have not
12
missed a
of
free throw.
12 on free throws
Mhm.
for the Knicks.
I talked about the last game, goes a long way. But Mikal
Sheesh.
Bridges has given he's been fantastic defensively in this series. Where I don't think some fans are giving him enough credit. Stay on your feet.
Tobias actually should have pulled there.
Oh,
Whoa! What a block. Okay, I like how the Knicks are looking. They look locked in. Even Towns stayed on his feet.
Yeah, he played right into
Mhm.
their hands because he had a 3-point shot that he just passed up, and Towns was like, "All right, cool. So now I can guard you." Oh boy, I had no confidence.
no, could have
in
been
that.
Dagger.
Oh, you can't let that happen though.
No, gotta get that rebound.
Asar Thompson's is super athletic.
Gotta keep doing what you're doing. Move the ball.
That's the first time Brunson's brought the ball off the court.
I was
think.
going to say,
Good
that's
pass.
a good pass. That's a terrible pass.
You got lucky on that bounce. OG's been off tonight with threes. Cat got very lucky that wasn't a turnover.
Uh-huh.
Foul him. Is the foul on the shot or the rebound?
Looks like it's on the shot.
4
4 on Hart.
on Hart.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Was it his offhand? Because it didn't look like
That didn't look like a lot. That's why I thought it was on the rebound for a
me
second.
either. Yeah.
Now, if you're Tibbs, what do you do here?
And I typically don't like if I'm a ref, I wouldn't want to reward players who are going up with those little left hand layups, like trying to get contact on the right
Mhm.
side.
On the right side of
It's like a cheat code. But it's Asar Thompson. So
he's gonna miss 2. I was wondering if they would maybe bring in Big Bride here. Does not look like that's gonna be the
no,
case.
someone's
No, that was JB Bickerstaff you were seeing with the blue. I know what you were seeing, but
Oh,
that was
okay.
JB Bickerstaff. Because I thought it too. I was like, oh, is McBride at the table? But then I realized it was further down.
wow, Asar made both free throws.
Yeah, see, it was Bickerstaff with the blue. That's what got me too.
Letting Josh Hart play with 4 fouls.
That's
Is that him being malleable or not?
I don't think so.
that's not what I meant.
I feel like he should.
Not that I'd go to Mitch. I think
I go to McBride. That's what
Yeah.
I would do. I'd bring him, maybe go to
to
McBride
Deuce.
here. That's and McBride with the rest of the starters has actually played really well. Those
Mhm.
numbers are really good. Small sample size, but numbers are pretty good.
Give and go.
Gotta take it. There
All
you
right.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 points, 4 fouls.
that's good defense.
That's
That's a
offense,
tough
even better
shot.
offense.
That is a 2004 ass shot. You got to give it to Cade Cunningham there. Oh boy. Good
Beautiful
cut.
pass.
No foul?
Yeah, I don't know how they're not calling anything on
Yeah,
that.
Josh Hart is confused. He doesn't
Right.
understand. Like, how did I not get the call?
Yeah, I want a replay of that. Let's see.
Uh,
Now I see it
guess.
again. I don't mind the nod
Yeah.
as much.
Because I thought
Durham
he
went
swiped.
straight up.
It looked like he swiped down
I thought
he
harder
did,
live. On the replay, he kind of did it when the play was already like the shot was already shot.
Yeah,
I get why Josh Hart would protest it though, but every NBA player protests everything now on the court.
This is
So.
true.
Can't take any of their claims seriously anymore.
The game?
us.
Oh, tell him I said I appreciate it. Thank you. But you know what? You know what's funny? For the side conversation, that is a very older person take that I do understand.
100%.
So I understand
Yeah.
where he's coming from.
Oh,
Knicks got lucky there after that turnover.
Yeah.
All right.
At least Anunoby attacked.
I
wasn't sure he was going to be honest. Yeah, definitely a foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got him on his arm.
Caught him on the wrist and his other arm. I hope this doesn't become a free
They're
throw
already
shooting
over the
contest.
limit. I'm sorry.
That's yeah.
So
See?
to what you were just saying.
See? I was literally. I'm like, I hope
This
this
doesn't
doesn't
want to come free throw
Yeah,
contest.
please.
Well, it's going to become a free throw contest.
There's the Knicks' first missed free throw of the game.
So the Knicks are 5 of 6. Detroit comparatively only has 2
Offensive
shots.
foul. Good call.
Ooh.
That's a good call.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's moving.
he's moving into him.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Ooh. OG Anunoby, like that. Also, that could be a knee contusion because of the collision there. So you got to be super careful with that. Look at Towns and Tobias Harris battling.
Yeah, Brunson still only brought the ball up once in this quarter.
I think that's fine.
Come on.
Woo! Big three. Knicks up 7 with
First
8
time
minutes to
out,
go.
Pistons.
Yeah, Knicks have had a strong start. First 4 minutes were very important. Starting off really
Absolutely
strong.
important. I got to correct something. If he's still watching, Clinton Yates, one of my best friends. I love you so much. I did not call you an older person.
I'm gonna put that on me. Clinton, I meant that saying that we understand things from the same era-ish is what I'm saying. I saw something you wrote to Kavitha, and I'm just saying I understand where you're coming from. I completely get it.
But shout
Love
out,
you
you are
to
like the best and most supportive friend, and I love you.
Shout out to Clinton.
Shout out
Yates.
to Clinton.
One-
we
one-
follow
one
each
of the
other on
best.
Twitter, actually. So shout out to
Clinton's one of the best here, so we appreciate you watching, Clinton. And I agree with your text. That's all I'm saying. I understand it.
No, because he wrote back and he was like, I'm trying to support a friend. I get called an older person. What is this?
No, it's love. It's endearing. I have to be careful about that. I think I said this with Stefan Bondi was doing something with me before, and I called him a veteran reporter. And he's like, you kind of call me old?
No.
I'm like, no.
Okay, we are old now, so we don't understand when other people think that we're calling them old,
True.
right?
I think, you know what, Clinton, that's what happened here. I was understanding that. I think that's what it is. So you just say, you're just like, oh, I'm here in the company. I get it. Okay. And so I called him veteran. So I said, well, what do you want me to call you? You are a veteran reporter. You've been doing this for a while.
Right.
I think I came up with something like seasoned at the end of the video. I'm not
Okay,
sure that's
all right.
better.
I don't
Seasoned?
think. Yeah, I don't think
Is
that's
seasoned
better.
better?
No, I think
Experienced?
I feel like seasoned makes it sound like you're searching for a euphemism.
See, I agree with that, but I was searching.
season.
I was.
I would argue season might be worse. Actually, like
than
it almost
veteran.
feels like I feel like I'd rather be a veteran than seasoned.
Because to me, veteran means you've put in a certain amount of time. Like that's
Yeah.
probably 10 years in my book, right? Like,
I agree.
right?
I agree.
Seasoned, I don't know. I'm thinking of, maybe it's because of actual seasoning. I'm thinking it's like salt and pepper
Me too.
hair, like, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
thank
thinking
you.
of adobo. Like that's generally what I use.
But I
along
mean,
with
like,
other stuff.
well, some people don't. You should want your food full of seasoning. Some people don't believe in that. You should want your food full of seasoning. I get how seasoned cannot be great. I get it. You know, I'm just gonna stay away from the word older. I think veteran is appropriate.
I think veteran is a little more like veteran. Is veteran better than experienced? It's better than seasoned. Would you rather be experienced or veteran?
Experience to me, though, is one of those words that you put on your resume when you have no other words.
It feels very resume LinkedIn-ish.
I get
right?
what you're saying,
Experiences,
yeah.
you know,
But
experienced
do you-
storyteller.
But do you want to
Kavitha
put?
Davidson.
But do you want to put veteran in your resume over experience?
No,
No, I
would
don't.
put
But, that's
experience.
why,
No,
but
that's
I
the
don't
thing.
think you would describe yourself as a veteran. I think that's how other
Some
people
people describe you.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
completely
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
I completely agree.
I might have experience.
Roberto Rodriguez says seasoned just means you should know better.
Valid. Robert Rivera says, "Are we sure Duran is only 21?" ?
You want to check his ID?
Oh, we got a Danny Amante situation.
Danny
Like,
Amante.
I was searching for the Latino joke.
I'm sorry.
Also,
No. Oh man.
Again, I'm not Dominican, but I'm from the Heights. So
and
People start-
my shirt is a giveaway. So.
people start checking Duran's age. Might be other problems involved.
Oh, Rip Hamilton.
I have
signing.
loved seeing Ben
who
Wallace.
The fuck is next to Ben Wallace? What is that chain? What?
Wait, you haven't seen those chains? People
No.
have.
Who is that wearing it?
I don't know, but he's got a courtside seat in Detroit. I don't know.
I have thoughts on courtside seating in general, but I'm gonna leave it.
Wait,
It-
you
it-
don't like courtside
It
seating?
would go back to our veteran / season / experience conversation. Look, those weren't always for people willing to spend, I don't know.
Well, so actually, I would like to have this conversation, maybe at another break, because because I was just having this conversation
pass. Good
earlier
pass.
today. Beautiful pass.
That's a foul.
I forget who it was, and it might have been someone that you were engaging with on Twitter, maybe somebody.
I don't-
Me or
I don't-
Brian?
I don't engage with. A lot of
Okay,
people
so it
on
might have.
Twitter.
It might not have been
I
either
only
of you.
engage at certain
Somebody
times.
was
Yeah.
trying, and it might have someone made like a multiple tweet argument about how the reason that the Knicks have not clinched a playoff series at home since 1999 is
Mhm.
because regular fans are priced out of Madison Square Garden and the energy is not as good as when you're on the road because the real Knicks fans travel. Now, there are a couple of things like Madison Square Garden is too expensive. Like
Yes.
fans are priced out 100%, right?
So our apartments.
So our apartments.
So our food.
hel-
so our
hello, New York.
groceries, Yeah. Everything.
But the people sitting in the courtside seats are not indicative of the guy who saves for the
No.
$300 seat up there.
They want to post on Instagram that they were courtside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that is a conversation that we absolutely can have.
Yeah.
Right.
But just at a more fundamental basis, if you think that there's no energy at Madison Square Garden because it's expensive, you have not been to the
To Madison
Garden for a playoff game
Just
in recent
just
years.
most of the energy
I
is
agree.
coming from like the further you go from the court.
100%.
Yeah, and
That's also true at Yankee Stadium and City Field.
Yeah.
And,
good
yeah.
pass. Some of these passes have been
I
excellent.
mean, it's to
So
say.
this is a Bridges quarter right here.
This is a bridge. Yeah, 10-2 run. Bridges, I think is 8
I
points
mean,
in the
it
quarter.
really it ultimately speaks to like just general wealth disparity has never been worse.
Right.
But, you know,
I think there's something to be saying that you sometimes don't see the real quote unquote fans down in the lower bowls
Mhm.
anymore. But I
Yeah.
completely agree with you. Someone who last year was at every Knicks home playoff game.
Asar Thompson 3? No.
Oh, why'd you foul him?
Oh, gee.
Oh, gee. It's
Wow.
Asar Thompson.
I was like, they're gonna call him for a foul. As soon as he got the ball and drove, I'm like, oh, he's gonna
Oh,
foul
my
him.
God. It's Asar Thompson.
Yep, he got him. They even locked fingers.
You won. Let him have that shot. I think for people, as Kavitha said, people, if you've been to the Garden for home playoff games, I was at every home playoff
for
game
regular
last year.
season games.
Even some regular season games.
I gotta
The
say,
energy's been great.
I like not to self-promote, but the first
You're
playoff game back after the shutdown, after the bubble.
I was there that series.
I was there
Game
too.
5, I was there.
I wrote about it at the Athletic,
Mm.
and it was also like my return home because I had to live in LA for a year. But there was this energy, and New York is obviously different when the Knicks are doing well and in the playoffs. But there was an energy at the Garden that I had not felt, and I had been to a Stanley Cup final game at the Garden like relatively recently. So, that I take issue with the idea that just because a lot of rich people are going to these games, there's no energy in the Garden.
Yeah, nah, it's definitely not. And I love the point you made. One thing I had this sort of argument with somebody not recently, it was a little while ago, but let's see what
Beautiful
happens.
pass.
Here. Good pass.
I
Mikel.
love the movement.
Oh man,
That's a
great
good possession.
ball movement.
It's a
Mhm.
really smart possession.
I think there's no team that this city gets behind like the Knicks. When the Knicks are good in the spring,
Yes.
there's no energy like it. Like you don't give me the Yankees in the fall. And the reason is, I think, because I always say this, I think basketball is a sport of immigrants, and this is a city of so many immigrants, and it's so very diverse in the crowd. I mean, a Knicks crowd is unlike actually it ain't the Rangers crowd.
No, but
right?
you know what it also
Very different.
is also they haven't won like really won lately, and also baseball there's always been multiple teams.
Right.
Football there's always been multiple teams.
Look at you! Look at
You
you!
know.
Look at you shading the Nets right here. Look at
No,
No, they're from
Okay.
they're from Long Island and Jersey. Respect to
Yeah.
Long Island and Jersey.
Yeah.
It's not New York City.
I
And
agree.
then-
talk to me about your memories at Continental Arena, and then get back to me.
I have
like,
some. My
I mean, I do
my
too.
brother was the Nets season ticket
They're
holder.
not good.
You know,
You want to go back there?
Huh?
You want to go back to Continental Airlines Arena?
Nah, they
Yeah,
had an all right. You know,
They're not really memories.
they had an all right Chinese
They're
food
just
spot
things
near
they had.
near
Oh,
Prudential.
I just
God,
remember
you know?
that like
Yeah.
the halogen lighting and like
Yes.
Yeah,
place
no.
is dim.
Ugh.
No, but
I don't think anything compares to when the Knicks are
no, I think
contending
look,
in the playoffs.
We
I don't think anything
talked
compares to
about this literally last episode. It's like the team that New York will go craziest for if they got a title, like the parade, it would be the Knicks
One
by
is the
far.
Knicks.
100%.
2 would be the Mets. I think
3 would be the Jets
you said 3 would be the Jets.
I think 2 would be. I think the Mets would be crazier than the Yankees because we've
because the Yankees have one.
And
won more recently.
And I also think like the Nets would be last with like a bullet, and like the
you
city.
think that'd be the last of all the teams in the city?
The city will go a lot crazier if St. John's won a national championship.
I mean,
than if
that's-
the
I
Nets-
think-
Oh
like,
yeah,
yes.
I don't disagree with
you
that.
know,
Yeah.
like
Good defense by Anunoby. I don't.
it wouldn't even be close. I think
Who-
I think St. John.
who
I think
gets-
the city will go crazier for St. John's than maybe some of the pro teams,
Does
especially with Rick Pitino.
the St. John's get more hype than the Islanders?
Than the
Yes.
Islanders. So I was going to say the
Yes.
Rangers. I don't think
I
so,
think
but I
so.
think the
Maybe
Islanders.
I'm being-
yes.
Would the Islanders do their parade down the Canyon of Heroes? I've always wondered that.
I actually
Or they
don't
do-
know. That's a
You know
good
what I'm saying?
question.
Or do they do this out on Long Island? I don't know. I've never had thought about it because I've never been close. So I've never had to think about it. Sorry, Islanders fans. No shade.
Yeah, we're shading the hell out of
I don't know. We're shading these other teams. Yeah, I don't know. What did the Islanders do in the 80s when they won 4 straight? Did they have I don't know this.
80s were a different
Neither of
time,
us were
too.
alive.
What'd you say?
Neither of us
that-
were
that-
alive.
I was.
You weren't
No,
either,
no, I
actually.
mean,
You weren't either.
When they win the last cup?
Wasn't it 79 to like 83?
Yeah, I was born in
Yeah.
83.
yeah.
Yeah.
Technically,
So,
I was alive
like,
for the last
70
Yeah,
or
you
82 or
didn't
whatever.
see it
Like, yeah,
happen,
you,
Yeah,
but-
but I didn't
right.
see it. I don't remember.
yeah, you were, yeah. Like that's like me being alive for like the OJ chase. I wasn't really. Like,
Okay, I feel like I've Mandela affected remembering it just because I've seen that 30 for 30 so many times.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
You see it. I remember it because I remember watching the Knicks. I remember that clear as day.
I don't remember anything.
I was 10, 11
I
years old.
remember watching that playoff series. I don't think I was 5 years old, right? I knew way
Right.
more about the
I
Knicks.
was
I didn't know
11
who
years old.
OJ Simpson was. Like,
Yeah, I knew. I mean, that was You had to be alive. That was big.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
I remember, this is random as hell to be talking about this, but I remember them announcing the OJ verdict over the loudspeaker in my school, Philippa Schuyler Middle School in Brooklyn, which Brian's brother also went to.
That is
Love
true.
him.
That is a fact.
Aw.
And
Missed 2 free throws,
throws.
Mitch.
Are they going to hack a Mitch now?
they might.
They have a 10-point lead.
Oh
They
my
might,
God,
yeah.
Malik Beasley should
He should have.
have shot it. He knows he should have shot it too.
Timeout. What happened? Oh, there was a foul.
Oh yeah, the hack and Mitch. You called it.
Oh,
They're doing the hack and Mitch. You called it.
Well, if he misses both, you have to keep doing it if you're Detroit. Unfortunately, like Mitch, you have to prove you
'cause
can make a free throw.
Yeah.
I know some people don't like it, but like it does kill the momentum of the other team. And
Yeah.
you don't like it?
No, I don't like it as a fan. That's obviously not
No, I
good
don't
or
wanna see
enjoyable
for basketball,
basketball,
yeah.
right?
But I get it.
No, I mean I get it from a coaching perspective, obviously, and it's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, like as a consumer, I don't love it, but if I'm coaching,
Strategy,
Right.
I'm doing
if
it.
I'm coaching and if I'm allowed and another guy can't make much better than like 50%.
Oh, he made one.
It's within the rules, and it's not even like a terrible stretch of being within the rules. So
Yeah, and people don't do it like this isn't going to go on for like the rest of the quarter.
You notice
Right.
Tibbs had Towns up to come back in.
but he made one,
but
but he
he
sat
made
him
one.
back.
Well, yeah, well, he couldn't come in until after anyway.
That's being malleable. There you go.
I mean,
I just don't understand why 3 Knicks are not collapsing as soon as the ball leaves Mitch's hand.
crash the boards
I'm
immediately.
sorry.
You know the chances are he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
But this is another thing with Mitch. I like Mitch and what he does defensively in the boards, but you know, you're a liability when you
Mhm.
can't stay on the floor offensively, especially late in games. Mitch,
Right.
turn around.
Oh, I
Beautiful.
thought he was going to
Man.
back it on.
Caught a sprite.
Oh! Let's go.
Look at Mikal. This is a
All right.
Mikal Bridges
This-
quarter. This is his playoff moment. I said he needed one.
This is his
might be
playoff
his
moment for sure.
This is a Mikal
He's
Bridges
got to
quarter,
continue
folks.
to drive.
Pistons are losing it.
Yeah, they look discombobulated.
Oh, Cade. You gotta
Cade
make a
should have turned the
decision there.
shot.
Yeah.
Still made it though. They look a little
They
off, right,
needed
Brian?
that. Yeah, yeah. They look like they're on the ropes. You know what I mean? And the Knicks
Knicks took a timeout also because they probably want to get
The Knicks offense is a
Townsend.
much better rhythm,
Yep.
despite the Hackimich strategy.
That's
actually,
right.
Yeah. Wow, this is a great
Detroit's not getting stops either. That's what I would
fantastic quarter for Bridges.
say. This feels like the first quarter again so
Bridges,
far.
Bridges is 20 points, 2 assists, is 9 of 14 from the field, hasn't hit any 3-pointers, 1 block, 2 turnovers, plus 13 on the night. All the Knicks starters are plus tonight. And the emotion he let out, that was crazy. I feel good for Bridges, man. He needed this kind of quarter. He needs this kind of playoff moment. Now, hopefully, it continues in the fourth quarter. Because if it doesn't, whoo, I know the fans are coming. Fans are coming. Oh man,
This commercial sucks, but I get why they do it. It's like, I mean, in general, commercials. I'm gonna sound old. In general, commercials are just like
I gotta be honest, man.
they're not. The only commercials that are decent now are like food ones for the most part.
Most times when I'm home, I mute the commercials.
Me too.
I mute the commercials.
Me too.
First of all,
yeah.
I have really terrible brand recall apparently. So like I'm a marketing person's worst nightmare. I maybe might remember a song from a commercial
Huh.
or a general plot. I could not tell you what that commercial was advertising.
I couldn't tell you that either. So you're not alone.
But I tend to avoid them as much as possible. So like people will always be like, "Oh, like that commercial there," and I have no idea what they're talking
Like
about.
I'll remember an actor or actress was in a commercial, but I won't remember what they were promoting.
The only time, however, is when it's something like, especially when it gets down to like the later rounds of a playoff run or the World Series, when it's the same 4 commercials,
Oh, then I
Yeah,
get
they
annoyed.
and then it's annoying.
Yeah, then I get pissed off.
and they got you.
Like
They're
when
I
they
got
had,
you,
like,
right.
like they had the one
Ingrained this
last
in your
year
brain.
with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren singing. I fucking hate that commercial so much.
I have seen that Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think it's also Shea, right?
Shea,
It's still
yeah.
Shea. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that
because they
commercial
always
so many times.
every playoff, there's always like a couple of NBA players or an NBA player or multiple whatever that they partner with these movies and they do commercials for like the movie, even though they're not in the movie.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
Like-
those are the. I'm pretty sure those are the ESPN broadcasts, so that would be
Broadcast.
cross promotion
All the time.
Yeah, they do that all the time. And it's
Yeah.
also like, yeah, that's not going to get me to watch the movie.
Never.
Like, who's that working on? Who's ever like, oh man, my favorite player.
My
was-
favorite. Yeah.
Like, who's that work
Like,
on?
oh, Shay is in the Jurassic movie. Or like when Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo did the one for whatever rock movie that was in the middle of the swamp
Yeah.
or whatever.
You know what we sound like on here? I just realized that we sound like people who hate movies. We're like shitting on horror movies.
Why would anybody?
going to the
Why would
movies,
anybody go to a theater?
promos for movies?
Look, to be fair, I haven't seen a movie in a long ass time. So I just I didn't go see the Von Erich movie, but there's a documentary episode out on it now that I might watch.
You'll
So
watch.
I'm the
So
same way.
Kavitha's
I'm
the same way.
100% the
I
same
would
way.
rather. I would rather. Again, it has to take a very specific kind of movie to get me to want to go.
Mhm.
And I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday, and I've said this before, and people look at me crazy. Some people at work here know this. I particularly do not like sports movies.
That's interesting.
I think most sports movies are actually not good.
Yeah, and lately sports documentaries have taken a little bit of a hit because a lot of them aren't actually the documentaries. They're just
in-house. They're
Yeah.
in-house
Productions, and those are
production.
not quite
Yeah.
the same thing.
Let me tell you all
agree.
the things that I want you to know about me.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
like that's
and not the
same.
stuff we actually want
Right.
to know.
Well,
That's
it's
not the
either
same.
in-house
Not calling
league
out anyone in
media.
particular, but
It's either in-house league media or it's produced by a company owned by a player.
Owned by a
yeah,
Um,
What was that?
that's why I don't care for player-driven content. Anyway, oh, that's
That's
a
a win.
foul. Paul Reed.
Yeah, my thing is like I think sports movies are generally too formulaic, and you know that whatever you're rooting for, the person's going to win. There are very few sports movies I find
where the
compelling,
person loses,
or
right?
the person loses, or I want to watch.
Right.
There's one sport where I think it, and I was bringing this point up to somebody yesterday, where I think it actually works pretty well. Most movies do. Boxing movies kind of can be kind of interesting because it's more individualistic and you go through the journey. Yes, you watch Rocky, you knew Rocky was going to win, right? But at least it has some ups and downs and it's
Creed.
more personal. Creed.
Yeah.
You kind of do that with the teams. I know there's a lot of team movies, and don't even get me started. I can't stand Hoosiers. I
Yeah,
hate that movie.
my problem,
Oh,
my
God.
problem with boxing movies sometimes is the actual boxing in the
Yeah,
movie.
I was going to ask
I
you
can
about
see
that
that.
Yeah,
actually.
it doesn't look awesome. Like one, you know what? One of the last boxing movies I saw in a theater, actually, like pre-Creed. I mean, which I didn't even see all the Creeds. I only saw one. I got to see the rest.
I've not seen the other two, last two as well. See,
But
we hate movies here.
but Southpaw I thought was well done.
That's one with
Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal, yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal, I think 50 Cent had a role in it
Mhm.
also. That
see
was
that,
well
but-
done. But like that's like a Jake Gyllenhaal. Like that's the type of role that he
100%.
that he would excel at. You know what I mean? 2015 was actually a year that I went to the movies like a few different times and saw good things.
That was
Honestly,
10 years ago, though. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's a while ago. I think Straight Outta Compton was that year.
mhm.
Trainwreck, which I know
I saw that.
I know
year in
people
the
have
theater.
their Amy Schumer criticisms in 2025, but fair. But that movie, I will stand up for that movie. That movie was hilarious. John Cena, LeBron James, and Amari Stoudemire were all funny in that movie.
Mhm.
Okay, they all have funny
Mhm.
cameos in that movie. And yeah, Southpaw was also that same year, but this is 10 years ago.
What's the last movie you went to see? So you don't remember either?
I'm trying to remember. So I go to a lot of screenings because I'm in the AFTRA part of SAG-AFTRA.
And I get screening invites too. I don't. Do we count those? Is that like?
I don't
I don't
necessarily
count it either because I
right?
went to
'Cause
like
it
I went
isn't
to a Bad Boy
theater
screening last
technically,
year. I went to a
but,
couple other screenings last year. Yeah, but I don't
um,
count it. I look at it as
and,
like it's an opportunity to network.
like the document. Well, also it's a smaller theater. Like you're at the Directors
Mhm.
Guild, and it's not like a movie theater. And
Oh, if we're counting those, then
Yeah,
I got a
right.
couple.
but and then like I went like documentary film festivals. I also don't think I count because those are also screenings. Honestly, I think my thing is I missed a lot of fantastic movies when I was growing up because my sister is older and my parents are much older and immigrants. So like I've got a whole list with a bunch of my friends and my guy of like
movies you haven't
80s
seen.
movies that I haven't seen.
You and I probably have a lot
particularly.
that I haven't seen. We probably have a
So
lot that are overlap.
We like slowly go through them, and then also sometimes I like to go to like the IFC Center and watch like a really
The indie
old
or like an old
like
indie movie.
like an old
Old
like a Suspira,
Yeah. Okay.
you know.
I can see that. I still think it comes back to a lot of like the experience is fine for a lot of people at home. Like
I don't think the cost justifies the experience, right?
I agree.
I
I
agree.
agree with that.
Yeah, because at home I could just go into my kitchen and pause the movie when I feel like it.
Right.
I can go and use the bathroom when I feel like it.
Like live theater is prohibitively expensive, but there is something that you get from it that I
Yeah.
don't think you necessarily get
Get
out of
from-
going to a movie
I can see
theater.
where I think that's
I
a
even
great
think
point.
this was, to bring it back to sports, I even think this with games where it's like,
Mhm.
football, especially, football's way better on TV.
That's why I was like earlier when
Way
we were
better.
first talking about this, I was like, it's the same thing with like I would rather watch the Giants at home instead of spending $350 on a
Yeah.
ticket because football's not cheap and going all the way out to Meadowlands. And
Yeah, like baseball's better on TV, but going to it live, because there's so many games, it's like it's not that much.
And baseball's
and
the
it-
one sport that I think allows you to like
You
get away from it, the game a little
Yeah,
bit, and
yeah,
be
because
conversational with your friends.
that's
and
why
stuff.
it's more about the experience.
if
Yeah.
you go with a few people, like if it's 4 people, 3 people, 5, 6, whatever, a whole family thing, like you could have a great time at a baseball game because you can all just sit around in between pitches and not have to like lock in, so to speak.
Yeah, there's more room for conversation that you could have. Oh
Wow.
Come on.
yeah, that went around the world twice
Wow.
and then go down. That's crazy.
I'll tell you the one I don't disagree with you about baseball, but having converted a lot of people from Ireland who did not grow up with baseball and are now
Mhm.
huge baseball fans,
That's interesting.
like you're not going to get people to become baseball fans necessarily by watching on TV. You can get those people by bringing them to a
Yes.
ballpark.
That's a good point. That's a great point
I agree
too.
with that
Yeah.
1000%.
The best sport live is hockey, like legitimately.
Okay, I've
Hockey
heard that.
is dope live.
I've heard that. I haven't been to a hockey game yet. but
It's
I've
well,
heard
that's
that.
another one that's prohibitively expensive.
Ooh,
Jalen
tough
feeling
shot,
it.
Brunson.
Dirt shot for one leg.
If he can,
My brother got hockey pilled, so he's been going to a bunch of Rangers games.
he got hockey
Hockey
filled.
We've been next year we're gonna go to a Rangers game. They sucked this year, but next year we're gonna go to a Rangers
Nah,
game.
hockey is dope live. The one thing I've never done, I mean, I've covered it, but I've never done a playoff game as a fan.
Same,
Like
yeah.
I haven't done that. I've covered them.
I've
but
been
never,
to one as a fan.
Yeah.
2015 against the Kings. I went to a Stanley,
Stanley Cup
final
final
game.
game.
Yeah.
We got a question, Dex,
Yes.
in the chat that I don't have an answer to.
The sports
You might.
radio host here, Michigan Nation by ratings, is Mike Valenti. He's a native New Yorker. Do you guys know of him? I've heard of Mike Valenti, but I do not know him. Yes, but I've heard of him, but I do not know him.
Do we know where in New York he's from?
I don't know that either. Radio stations with WXYT 97.1, the ticket in Detroit.
There's a ticket in Detroit. Oh shit! There's like a bunch of tickets.
But I have heard of him. So yeah.
Okay, so OG Anunoby just kind of threw Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
Here's the physicality again.
This is a critical 2 minutes because if Detroit goes on a run, this could be all for naught. The Knicks could also like really not put this away because I don't think it'll truly put them away, but you can turn this 12-point lead into like a 20-point lead heading into the fourth, then that's going to be a lot for Detroit to come back.
I mean, the
from.
key with the Knicks is can they stretch this up a
Let's
little
see.
bit and then hold on? They don't.
Are they
need to-
reviewing for a flagrant? It wasn't as bad as I thought. It's going to look like Schroeder was flopping, but I think he was just trying not to land on his face.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, so coach, there's a challenge. Looks like the officials were looking at it and now. it's a
Official
challenge.
review, yeah.
I hate this sometimes because now this really has killed the momentum of the game.
Mhm.
Right?
Well,
like
I mean,
now you got to stop.
I don't think the NBA fan experience has gotten a ton better, and it's gotten way pricier.
Mhm.
You know, like I think, first of all, like basketball might have the worst chance out of any sport, and the music,
the less evolved chance is what I'll say.
the music is bad.
What I will say
Depending
is
on the arena,
the music-
Phoenix is good.
the music is so constant at a basketball game, right?
Yeah,
Like I feel like it's so much more constant than in any other sport.
One of the things I've liked that the NBA has done is like, having the music, some different instrumentals play as you come off the court. They've leaned into the hip hop a lot with that. You
Mhm.
don't have that in any
yeah.
other
There's some
sport.
places lean into house music too much, and no disrespect to house music, but I ain't trying to hear that shit during a basketball game.
If you're in Chicago,
Like-
you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta expect they're gonna pump the house. I get that. Look, it's different. I've been to a couple NBA arenas.
Nets
for a couple
fans
games.
hate. Nets fans hate. I know this from covering them in the past. Nets fans hate when they play the organ because they feel like that's at Madison
I
Square Garden.
I did when I used to work for Nets Daily. there were a lot of Nets fans who said that, and I think they've gotten rid of it because of it got so
Have
much
they?
bad. I think they have. I mean, well, actually, don't know. I've been to Nets game in like 2 years.
Me neither. It's
so
exactly
I don't
like
know.
2 years. So the Knicks are out of challenges because OG Anunoby gets called for a foul and throwing Dennis Schroeder to the
But
ground.
why would you challenge that?
That's where I was
After
going
it
next.
seems like the official made the call.
So I think that's dumb. Kavitha, you clearly think that's
Sorry.
dumb. do tell. Like, elaborate. I think that's a bad use of a challenge.
And Tibbs is really actually good with the challenges.
While
That's why I'm
up
shocked at that.
12 now,
Yeah.
it's so OG doesn't get his
Doesn't
fourth,
get the fourth,
but like, who cares?
yeah.
You could play him with 4 fouls.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I
With a
wouldn't have done
12-point lead, like I'm not challenging.
This was
that.
Tibbs not being malleable.
I'm never gonna. It's just gonna be the catchphrase for the rest of the night.
The Dad Adventure podcast says Schroeder was doing a Brunson flop. Oh, stop it.
I don't know if that was a flop though. I mean, he got like
I thought like you when he was falling, he was trying to protect his.
he was trying to break his
face.
fall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
There was
caught
so-
himself with his hands, like
Yeah.
you know, right?
and that was clearly a foul on OG. I don't know why why are you challenging that? Like, what?
Yeah.
They're gonna reverse that?
No, they're
Yeah,
not
he
gonna
moved the
reverse
arm.
that.
I don't think it was like that intent, but it didn't look good. You weren't gonna win that.
And they didn't call it a flagrant. You
No.
know, so
It's just an absolute waste of a challenge of a
Brian, I gotta get
timeout
you one of
of-
those chains.
did Miami start that? Not the Heat. Like
That
the
kind of really more
Hurricanes.
started in football.
The Hurricanes did the turnover chain. Were they the
Mhm.
first ones to do that?
Oh, that's right.
Then you saw NFL teams and fans wearing those chains.
Because
Now it's come
everyone in
over to
sports bites
basketball.
off of each other. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a bad pass.
Yeah.
by
No.
Towns.
See, and this is how shit turns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous about this final 2 minutes of this quarter.
Mm-hmm. This will determine whether or not we're back Sunday for Game 7. I'm Saturday for Game 7. Excuse me.
I'm here anyway Saturday, but I don't want to be here watching Game 7.
My Saturday hinges upon this series.
Yeah,
You know, because it's like, am I doing a Canelo fight recap or not?
God.
On
what?
the
No,
ground.
that's ridiculous.
I mean,
Well,
This
let's
is
see.
stuff that can shift the
there's
momentum.
a step back. I can't get a good look from there.
he didn't even grab him. He just flailed his arms.
We need a better angle than that.
Yeah.
Barely saw the play there. It looked like a box out. I mean, Duran's not, he's not Steve Nash from the free throw line, but
Yeah, watch him knock down too.
he's not Mr. Robinson either, I don't think.
It's fair.
Get ready to be here Saturday in the comments section.
Shut up.
From Dad Adventure Pod. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say anything. It's fine. So 9-point lead. Yeah, OG has to come out. He has 4.
Mm-hmm.
Have the Knicks? Has McBride played this quarter?
He's,
Oh,
in now.
Okay.
Duran made both. Wow. We still didn't get a good replay of the foul, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cat gets in unfortunate positions sometimes and makes silly fouls, though I'm not sure that was one.
Knicks need a big shot here.
There's a lot going on that screen.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Nope,
no.
Nope. Get it. There we go.
Detroit's
Okay.
really content with Deuce shooting those, huh?
They have been. Knicks attack in here.
See, and then they press up on Brunson for obvious reasons. Look at Duran ready
Make the
to
right
help.
pass.
Mm.
Oh, Mikal Bridges with another big 3. Oh, man. He's been great in this quarter.
That was a good read because Duran went to help on
Well,
Brunson.
the first
Mhm.
3.
Duran went to help on Brunson, but then when Mikal was open, he just moved. He was not in the play anymore. So
That's-
Mikal was wide open.
Let me check Brunson's assist. That was a good pass. He made the right pass there.
Mhm.
As you said, Brunson,
Here we go again.
only 6 assists. So it feels like he had
It's a
more.
great look.
6 assists. Mikel's first 3.
6
23
assists. He had a
points.
lot of those early then.
He did. You
Mikhail's
did.
first 3, 1 for 4.
1 for 4. You've missed his first 3. Yep. Big quarter for Bridges.
Beasley's first point since the first half.
Hasn't attempted a shot in the third quarter.
Hmm.
Still scares me.
Really regret not betting is over.
The one day you did not believe in him.
Do I have anything other than Mitch's rebounds, which is probably not going to happen because I don't think he's going to get 6. I mean, he could get 4 in like 2 minutes, but still.
Brunson is a mother flopper. You know what? Dad Adventures podcast. I saw that on the billboard on I-96 in Detroit, and I didn't. I saw it come in, and I didn't know if that was real or Photoshop. But
I think if you're
going
going to put mother in front of something, you got to be more creative.
I think so.
Tough drive,
All right.
but they get it back. Tough drive for Towns.
I'd like to see Towns get going a little bit more here.
Mm-hmm.
That was tough.
Contact.
But I'm fine with the no call there, to be honest.
Towns isn't.
Duran has to grab that rebound. I feel like it's another important possession for the Knicks. Close this quarter strong.
Mikhail's going to come around the screen here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they almost had him inside.
Let's see. Deuce.
To get Duran. Nice.
That was
Beautiful.
good play. That was good
Beautiful.
play design.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Even though Brunson didn't hit the layup, you got Brunson on Duran.
And you had guys crashing on the weak side.
I like guard screening for other guards because it can create like just havoc on these mismatches. Like that was really smart.
Josh Hart.
Shout out to Tibbs, I guess. I mean,
you guess. Tibbs being malleable. Look at that.
oh,
He tried to pass it. Schroeder should have shot that.
Yeah.
Schroeder should have shot that.
Yeah.
He overthought that one.
Oh wow. If he
That's
makes
good.
this,
Oh.
11-point lead.
I was hoping. I felt like the Knicks needed what
we
he
needed,
gave them. I felt,
What was it? Shaq, one lucky shot deserves another.
There you go. That's it. One lucky shot deserves another.
We're in a similar position from after the first quarter now.
Yes, we are.
So
No Knicks fan wants to see the second quarter be the fourth quarter.
Nope.
Here we
Fourth
go.
quarter
No,
be
we
the second
do not.
quarter.
Here we go.
How nervous are you feeling?
I'm very nervous. I think that those of you watching at home has already seen my stressed out face. And I get quiet.
Now
which
you might get the Tibbs, what the fuck you doing face in this quarter. Might happen.
Let's see.
How are you guys
Brian,
feeling?
you've been told to adjust your mic again.
Great. Awesome.
How am I feeling?
Mm,
I feel like the Knicks are going to bring this home.
let's go.
I think Detroit will make a run quickly, and they're going to be able to respond to it once again. We'll see.
Let me know. Let me
Dad
know.
Adventure Podcast says
know
we
if this
got
is
another
better.
strong quarter in us. Is Brian's mic better now, guys?
Let me know if this is better. If I need to change it. And also let me know if it looks stupid.
By the way, shout out to Dad Adventure Podcast. He said at one point he ran out from Oreos to get more Oreos, which I'm like, how did you not stock up enough before the game?
Is that not a thing you can get delivered also?
What'd you say?
Is that not a thing you can get delivered?
You can. He made the run. Yo, that is something like that. I feel like is a definite effect of the pandemic. That if you're in some sort of event, you're watching something, there is no thought of running to the store in the middle of it. You're like, I'm gonna get this delivered.
No, so I think this
Unless
is,
you got like a corner store, bodega real close to you that you
Yes.
can run down.
I think I'm of two minds of this. I think part of it is an effect of the pandemic. I think part of it is also like other outside of New York, because again, I was in LA when this happened. Other places did not have the kind of delivery culture that we have here until the pandemic hit and they had to develop it, right?
I could see that. I can totally see that too.
But they also don't have the corner store because
Stores.
you got to drive to get
That's
toilet
everything.
paper. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, well,
It was nice ordering food before delivery fees were all like $20.
Well,
Yo,
it's a
delivery
little bit
fees.
insane.
Yo,
right?
have you noticed what they
little
do
bit.
now? I've noticed this now with Instacart. Like, basically, before you would order something and there would be it's like a little bit extra of a price. Now they have like the plus $6.99 or $7.99 charge as they'll call it like priority.
Yeah.
And then if you want it faster, you got to pay like another $3.99 on top
Yeah.
of that.
I haven't ordered Instacart in a while, but
neither.
that's
Yeah,
wild.
I did it like a couple weeks ago. I don't do it as often as I
Sure.
did before, but I did it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Yo," because it just used to be standard, and then you paid extra for it to get it faster. Now they're paying you a priority charge, and there's also like a bagging service fee charge. All this. Don't ever look through the charges; it'll piss you off.
It
Trust me,
does.
it'll piss
Trust
you
me.
off.
Look, if I pop in Uber Eats, the first thing I'm doing is looking for like what has a discount today.
Oh yeah, and if you don't go on the one for a while, they'll give you the 40% discount
Yeah,
to get you to come back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but you're right. It's the service fee. Even if you have like the pass or whatever, and you don't get charged the delivery fee, there's like 8 different kinds of fees.
You get screwed with fees no matter what.
And when you get the 40% discount, it usually just covers the fees.
Pro tip: if you have the actual menu to the actual restaurant,
No, just call the
just call
restaurant.
the
They'll take your
restaurant.
credit
Yes.
card. But this is old school New York ordering,
Yes.
right? And I think
With
part of the problem,
pizzerias,
right?
with Chinese food, with the chicken spot that's in your neighborhood.
So,
the
But I think
Spanish
part of the
food spot.
problem is 100%. I think part of the problem also is that now we're not ordering from places in our neighborhood.
Yes.
you're ordering from a couple neighborhoods.
I'm on the
away.
Upper East Side, and I'm seeing places that will deliver to me in Flushing. I'm like, I'm not going to make some
Same.
poor
Oh,
person
that's a
come to
foul.
me from Flushing.
Same. Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's a
I'm in,
$30
I'm in
tip or
Queens. I only order from places that are like near me in Queens.
There's a 10-block radius.
So
like
what-
if it, you know,
one of my annoyances, and this is gonna sound lazy when I say to somebody. Literally, I would say you've been to my place.
Yes.
Literally, it's like half a block. It's like I'm in a building that takes up the whole block, and literally on the next block there's a Chinese food store. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, living there for a while, know the people. They will deliver to me. Even though it's a very short delivery, and I'll tip them well, they'll deliver to me.
Sure.
Even if it's like under a $10 order, they will deliver to me,
Mhm.
which is very nice.
That's
My
interesting.
only gripe with them
Josh
is
Hart
they-
has 5 fouls.
Ugh.
yeah, he got a
by the
foul
way.
on that rebound. My only
All right,
gripe with
Deuce,
them is
here you go.
they don't take card,
Ah,
and I'm like,
I get why businesses like I don't get why now, but like I get why they prefer cash. Is what I'll say.
I mean,
They definitely do. I learned this in Spain also. Like especially the smaller.
watch the chain on
places.
your mic. I see it.
Especially the smaller places. I'm about to just take it off. Especially the smaller places. I get why they prefer cash.
get it.
Euros. I
well,
guess.
I mean, so I have a lot of friends in the service industry. Obviously, I understand why servers prefer cash. There's a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
like tax on tip
That had me
aspect
nervous.
there. Oh well, gotta get these rebounds though.
Yeah, Knicks gotta be careful here, especially without Hart. These are big minutes for Deuce, man. No Brunson on the court. Campaign. Knicks is a big minutes. The campaign experience
There you go.
off to a decent start in the fourth quarter. The campaign experience. Offensive foul on Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. doing Tim Hardaway Jr. things.
We know it well.
We know it well. I'm trying to tell you about. You know what the Tim Hardaway Jr. experience is.
check. I should be good now.
Why Tim Hardaway Jr. And he led with the forearm.
And he
that
pushed.
should have been a
And he pushed
tech.
OG Anunoby.
That should have been a tech.
That's why.
No.
That's why the scuffle.
And OG Anunoby's just walking away smartly. That should have been a tech on him.
Yeah.
The first push on Deuce was in the play. The second thing, that was unnecessary. Somebody go right at Tim Hardaway Jr. Right at him. That's what I do right now.
I mean, yeah. Pick on the emotion.
Get him in the action.
you know?
Pick on the emotion.
One thing I've noticed, Dex, is that you always say his full name.
You know
You
why?
know what? I have this tick with certain people too. I always say like Gervonta Tank Davis. I even say his nickname.
I wonder how much of it is because his
You
dad-
know what I mean?
I wonder how much is because his dad
I-
played.
It's a thing with boxers, especially. But
That's-
certain basketball players' names, like I do, like I don't say Beasley. I say Malik Beasley.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what
Because
I
you don't
mean?
want people to think about Michael Beasley.
I was gonna
It
say,
may-
is
it
that
might-
why?
It might be a tick, like with certain dudes.
Yeah.
Like I've said
Oh,
Brunson,
God.
you
you
can't
got-
get beat by the ball by
By
Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham.
who I usually call Cade, or sometimes call Cade Cunningham.
Nice.
Like campaign, we all say campaign.
Yeah.
Even though-
Yeah.
Because he's not a can. He hasn't earned
He's
just
not
a
a
can.
cam.
Yeah,
You only certain people get the first name basis.
yeah. Oh hell no.
That's good.
That's
Oh,
disgusting.
All right. This is awful basketball.
yes, it is. And Tibbs is
I
like,
usually like awful basketball. That's
too.
Very
that's an
lucky
and
that's
one.
not an and one.
yeah, and Tibbs is like, yo, we got to get Brunson back in here as soon as possible. Wait, why does Payne look confused about this foul? You know what you did here. This is a foul, sir. Sir, sir, what are we talking about? This is a foul. Come on, man. And it's a good foul. You shouldn't try to
That is that right.
But then he looks confused, like, why'd you call it on me? Your arm was over his arm. What are we talking about? I don't know why I do that with Tim Hardaway Jr.
Because
Well, you don't want to call him
well,
Tim
you know,
Hardaway.
You know senior.
Right.
Yeah.
And also you can't be
And it's
like,
not Penny.
Yeah, you can't call him Tim or Timmy.
Yeah.
Because that's mad general. And like you can't call him Hardaway because of his dad.
You can't call a grown man named Timmy. You can't do that.
People do it with Tim Duncan, but like I don't. But I
Tim
get it.
Duncan. Timmy Duncan.
If they know him.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Spurs announcers may call him TD or whatever, but
I
like OG is the only person I know named OG, named OG. So OG makes sense. And his last name, you know, it's a mouthful for some people.
And one! What a bucket by OG. The Knicks needed these guys to step up. There you go. Way to respond.
Yeah, he's usually not that strong to the basket. I love that.
Oh, man, he got hacked.
He wasn't sure of himself until he got like deep into the paint. He's like, well, I got to shoot this one.
Knicks playing good in these minutes without Brunson.
Yep.
To keep the Brunson now back in.
Detroit's defense does not look great.
Campaign's still mad they called that foul on him. Like he didn't foul him.
Look at OG's offensive line.
I'll take
he
it.
took a lot of threes tonight. How many threes did he attempted? 9? Yeah.
9?
He had 3
He made
of those?
4.
4. He made 4.
22 points.
But here, the Knicks have been willing to shoot the 3, which you've been asking for. They've shot 25 in this game. They made 9. You'll live with that.
Oh, that's another one on Towns.
No, come on, Cat. These are stupid fouls.
You saw it coming, too.
Yep.
Duran gets the ball right here. I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah, look, out of we're not even close. He's like out of position. He jumps at the wrong time, and then he just smacks him. And he's
incredulous.
I thought he was doing the who used to do this? Ronnie Turiaf.
Yes.
Where like he'll be like, yeah, I got him. Like it was me. You know,
right.
Steven Adams does this sometimes. I thought he was doing that. He's just like, huh? Fouls on me, you know.
Look at Jalen Duran out here hitting his free throws.
Shout out to Ronnie Turiaf wherever you are.
Oh. We still remember you.
All right, this is a lot of deuce.
A lot, too much. And now it's going to be a lot of Brunson.
Yeah, it was 14 seconds of Deuce McBride just handling the ball.
What were we talking about? Fucking half-court offense? No, and nobody. And he's gonna get his own rebound
and score.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Come on.
That's awful for Detroit. There were like 2 guys there.
That was
nobody got
such
the ball.
good defense. Also bad offense. But and then they just give it up. Yeah, you're fine with that. I think.
Let's go, OG.
The rebound, OG. This is clearly Brunson's best game.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
I don't know.
Game
one. You know.
OG's best game?
Oh boy, offensively, I think so. Detroit's 0 for 10 from 3 in this half. Apparently,
that's crazy.
That's a crazy swing because Deuce had a good look at a layup there. He just went too strong.
Knicks still got to be careful. It's a runaway.
Lob it up.
That's a pass.
No.
He was thinking about it.
And I think he should have.
Yeah, I thought he should have lobbed it up for Mitch.
It was halfway though. Now
0 for 11.
0 for 11.
0 for 11. What?
You touched it?
Deuce.
Or did somebody touch on the shot?
Deuce, I think, might have. Or actually, he might have gotten tipped. We'll see.
That's inexcusable. No way that should happen. Dad Adventure Podcast said, yep, if we can't make it 3, we're bowing out. The mood has changed.
No, it's tough. I mean, especially today's NBA. Like, you better be awesome from 2.
Oh, okay, Mitch.
Threes. Duran very relaxed with the ball there. Oh boy. Oh.
All right.
Timeout.
Duran's evolution as a passer this series has
been good. Yeah, I agree. That gets the crowd back into a 7-point game. Not done yet, people. Not done yet. How you feeling?
I get it. Duran's passes probably aren't on the scouting report.
He doesn't.
I mean, it should be now after 5 games. How's
yeah,
it not
no.
on the scouting report?
Heading into the series, it probably was.
I agree. It probably wasn't. I
You
agree
know,
with you on
which, yeah, because I mean, there was talk of like, could he hit the extra pass when he's at the top of the key, and the Knicks have challenged him, and he's done it. So, oh, this is depressing.
that. I know. Every time I see anything with Juju now, I'm just like,
I know, but man, these kids now just play a lot of basketball growing up, like a lot of basketball. We talked about over specialization like many times. So,
and I think a lot of times fans who like criticize the NBA and guys getting injured or the, load management, they don't think about what comes before that.
Right.
I think that often gets not talked about enough in sports.
I call them the AAU kids.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what it is.
And I think if people haven't covered that, or they don't, or haven't been around that world, you don't understand how much basketball these kids are playing. And youth sports in general, I know you've done stuff on this too.
Yeah.
Youth sports is such a big moneymaker in this country. But if you talk to anybody in the medical profession, they'll say like, "This is I've done this. You've done it too."
That's what it is. I did a big thing about Tommy John happening earlier because you're now getting people in the majors who are on their second and sometimes third Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
And because they had their first in high school.
Yeah.
Like, so that's a specialization thing. That's throwing harder too young thing,
Yes.
which
Too young.
is in some ways a specialization thing, but it is also
Playing
a
year
use
round.
thing. It's
Yeah.
playing year round. You're
Right.
playing in winter ball, little league, and with the money that comes along, especially if you're in like a good little league area and then a good high school area, it's a lot that contributes to that. And you're absolutely right. People don't think about that. With basketball, I think people think about maybe a little bit of the high school. They never look at the injury rates in high school. And that's something we
Yeah,
gotta start doing.
I think, and there are some people who, not some, there are people who work in the medical field who will be like, yo, this NBA schedule's like, it's crazy, and the NBA is the only one who does it. Like, even for people who don't watch like beyond the NBA, but international teams, like the best international teams,
Play twice a week.
they'll play 60 games a year.
Yeah,
the best ones, 65 maybe, or something along those lines.
Yeah,
And that's just EuroLeague. In
Right.
Australia, it's a lot less. In China, it's less. In Puerto
Yep.
Rico, like all these other top flight leagues that have like good and ex-NBA talent.
they're playing
play
maximum
less.
twice a week. I was talking to somebody who covers the NBL
Yeah.
last year when I was out in summer league,
Yeah.
and we were talking about this exact
The
thing.
regular season's like 30-something games.
Yeah,
And the NBA, if you're on a good team, not even counting like preseason, if you're on a good team, you're
playing
playing like,
100 games.
yeah, basically,
Mhm.
or
The
90 plus.
The Knicks are playing their 88th game of the season. This does
Right.
not count preseason or 4 games, but
Yeah.
so 90 with the preseason. But 88th game they're playing tonight. They could play another 6.
They don't practice that. They don't practice
can't
like
practice
that
as
much.
much.
They used to practice more, but they also used to travel less,
Right.
like miles. Like
Yeah.
now they're trying to do things with the schedule, limiting back-to-backs and such. But these guys are still flying all the time.
I would love to see the NBA schedule reduced to about 60 games.
They're
Every
never
time
gonna
you
do
bring it up, people say they'll never do it. You know why? It's because the people don't want to lose
Owners.
money.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, and this is
And
always my
players also don't want to do it if it means they're going to make less.
Mhm.
I think they would do it if they make the same amount, but
Well, yeah, but
they don't want to get their pay
if
cut
they're going to
too.
keep them the same amount, you're going to
But
have to up the tickets.
Oh,
it starts with the
it's all if it's related to
Right.
basketball related income, then there's no way that they're going to
it,
agree.
Well,
to
would
it.
you be
So-
willing-
it starts with the owners though. They're not going to
Yeah.
go
Would
for
you
that.
be willing to pay more for a ticket if you knew that you were going to see people on the court? I feel like, I might have the means to say
I
that
think the price
can.
is high right now, but I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I honestly don't think so.
Oh, wow.
I'd probably rather go to a bar and restaurant
Absolute
with some
disarray.
people.
Absolute
Oh, my
disarray.
goodness.
Oh my goodness. You don't want to see Deuce crossing over. Oh,
It's Tim Hardaway. Do not overplay. It's Tim Hardaway.
oh boy.
That's not over the back?
Wow. Tim Hardaway Jr. made that one though, Dex. Ha ha.
He'll miss the next 5.
So Duran got called for the foul there? I mean, the foul was against, you know what I mean,
Mm.
professional broadcaster. A lot of free throw line trips for Duran, I feel like. DJ31 says, Knicks are a badly managed team. I don't care if Tibbs brought us out of our misery.
Look, I'm kind of, the people who don't like Tibbs are never going to like Tibbs.
Mhm.
I'm kind of like, I get it. We get it. Like, I think Tibbs has flaws. I agree with everything Kavitha said earlier.
Mhm.
I think he has not been as malleable as he can be. Do I think he's a bad coach or he's poorly managed the team?
Bye, Deuce.
That's a bit. That's a bit much. Like that statement to me is like a bit. Like it's a
But
bit
it's also
much.
exactly who he's always been, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right, so-
What you see is what you get.
Right, and the
very
thing
much
is-
so.
Is there an argument that there could be another coach to take this team to the promised land? Yeah, sure.
I think the Boston series, if there is one,
Will be
let's-
very telling,
know.
as we were talking about the other day with JD. It will be very telling.
Yeah.
If he's not malleable in that series,
Yeah.
word of the day, kids.
Yeah.
If he's not malleable in that series,
I think Durant's 8 for 8 on free throws,
which is
Jesus.
crazy. That's helped him get
Detroit's
back. In this game.
90%.
Right.
Knicks got to look at this
Seven Nation
offense.
Army.
Okay.
Well, Brunson passed the okay.
Nope. Mitch.
Big offensive
Hey,
rebound.
rebound.
The Knicks offense
No,
is just,
and now it's just
Oh boy.
and the crowd is
Another
into it.
Yep.
photo finish.
just don't make it easy, do
Oh,
they?
Josh Hart. You have 5 fouls. Don't
That's
do
the
that.
thing, right?
Woo, my goodness. Tim Hardaway Jr.
That's fine.
1 for 12 from
That's
3.
the first three of the second half.
Oh boy.
Look, Knicks, you got to respond here.
You didn't
It's-
take the
it's-
crowd out of it soon enough.
No, you did not.
Oh,
What
my
was
goodness.
that?
And where are your handles?
Wow.
And there's a tie.
Wow.
Sometimes.
What a series. Holy shit. The emotional swings of this series.
Nope. Can't handle it.
They made their last run. This just when you thought the Knicks were in control, they won some of those minutes without Brunson on the floor, and now you got Tim Hardaway Jr. getting a head rub from Tobias Harris.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe you have him right where you want him. Tim Hardaway Jr. feeling himself in the last 5 minutes, and
He giveth and taketh.
yeah, how you feel? Yeah, oh, you
It's
you
just
changed your
the-
position.
no, just the
You're like,
I'm
"Ugh."
so scrunched.
Oh,
Oh.
Doug is gonna blame you if they lose.
he really is.
Doug is going
He
to blame
really
you if they
is.
lose. Oh man. Knicks fans, how you feeling? Well, DJ 31, we know how you feel.
Nah.
Dad's Adventure Podcast, we know how you feel.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be tough. Well, you've been told to watch out for your mic too, Kavitha.
Oh, me. Okay, sorry. Oh, I got it. Yep.
Let's see what we have. Okay, 9 of 34 from 3 Detroit is for the game. 1 of 12 in this half. And yet this is tied. That's just incredible. They're shooting 90% on free throws. They're shooting 46.6% from the field as well. And you have a 2-to-1 turnover ratio for the team, 22-11. So the Knicks, they had 2 turnovers for a long time, and they are up to 13 now. And
Yeah.
they just have 17 assists.
They've
So, like, the distribution, like, the assist to turnover ratio was a lot better
Mhm.
a while ago. A lot better.
and it's gone down, and
And
they've
it's-
only have 7 points in this quarter. And
7
you know
points in this
who's
quarter.
gonna get if the Knicks do not win this game. I understand he's a plus 10 right now.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Karl-Anthony Towns
Oh,
is
yeah.
only taking
Yeah.
10 shots.
Yeah.
He is
Mhm.
taking 10 shots. It feels like in game 1, he's taking 10 shots, guys. Like
12
So-
rebounds, but
But this is one of those. How many of those rebounds led to? This
Right.
is one of those.
the rebounds don't feel consequential.
Yes,
Right.
and one of
Feels like
those
he's
like
just getting rebounds.
the analytics are not going to. If you haven't actually watched this game, that
Yes.
doesn't tell that story
Yes.
because he's been very inconsequential.
Yeah. He's just been out there. And this is what I was worried about. Like, I wanted to bet on this under going into this game, which is like 20 and a half, because I was like, I don't know if he's going to show up. You know, like, I felt better about Mikhail because like it kind of felt like, one, from a non-analytical standpoint, he was due, but also from just a film standpoint, he's getting the right looks.
Mhm.
He's getting the right reads. They're generating good looks for him. He's taking the shots more often than not. Like, he's attacking. He's doing things the right way. I felt like his process has been good, but he's just missing shots. And now today he's been better. But with Cat, there are times where I don't know if he just takes himself out of the game, if they're
Yeah.
not scheming for him, or if it's a combination of both. But it feels like sometimes he's just not involved
Mhm.
for long stretches.
Well, Tibbs was asked about that in shoot around today, right? Like, or before shoot around, he
Mhm.
was asked about whether he would basically get him more involved. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something. It was a very like
Towns has to read the
dismissive.
game and adjust and take
Yeah.
the game to him, and we play how the game gives us.
That was
That's what we do.
that was essentially that was what I heard.
This is what we do. I'm Tom Thibodeau.
But he
Yeah.
also just, I don't know, there's something about his approach, and maybe I'm reading into it. He looks trepidatious with the ball right now.
Right now,
I
but I
think-
think what's frustrating is you've seen him not look like that
Yes.
at points in this.
And,
season.
and I think the average New Yorker would be like, you make how much money? Go get the fucking ball.
Mm.
I think that's the conclusion.
Yeah, I think part of it is you
got
got to demand it too. I do
Right.
agree with that.
you know,
though, right?
like
I do agree you got to demand it as you see him on the TV
last
screen
4
right here.
games decided by a combined 12 points, and the first one was close too. Just the
Yeah.
Knicks pulled away at the end. And I think coming away from that game, you're like, all right, that may happen a couple more times, and oof, every game has been a nail biter.
This has been, look, as a Knicks fan, you want it, and it just sucks because you're probably not getting this. I know 6 minutes, there's plenty of time left in this game
Mm-hmm.
for the Knicks to put this away. But I think Knicks fan has wanted to see one where they could feel comfortable
Yep.
about
Oh,
it, and you
boy.
just haven't had that at all whatsoever. You saw the incredible ball denial by the Pistons here. Look, Brunson gets the ball with
Dennis Schroeder was
17.
handsy there, got away with it.
Oh, 1-5 pick and roll we got here. Take the shot, Cat.
Ah,
Unbelievable.
No.
That right there is the perfect. That's perfect.
Yep.
That's
everything we
perfect.
just talked about
That's the perfect.
in one play.
Yeah, Karl-Anthony.
4 turnovers this quarter.
That's
for
the
Knicks.
Karl-Anthony Towns experience right there.
And I saw it. Like you got
Clip
what
that.
you got what you wanted on the 1-5 pick and roll. Take the shot.
Clip that for the best of. Jesus Christmas.
That's good.
That's the 2004 bag. Cade Cunningham has it.
Look, and they're gonna make Brunson work to not get the ball. They're ball denying heavy
First lead since
halftime.
halftime. Yeah,
Yep.
because the Knicks started off really well in the third quarter. All right, Jalen Brunson, save #save the Knicks. Oh, here come the boos.
Could someone help him up? Like,
I mean, Tim Hardaway.
Jalen Brunson. I feel like Jalen
Junior.
Brunson be trying to let his teammates and then he's like, oh, I
Do it
got
myself.
You know, right? He's like, all right, fine. Like he's the dude at the park who's like a D1 player, and
Are
everyone
they
else,
challenging this?
everyone else is like D3, played in high school, whatever, and he like
Mhm.
tries to make them feel good, and then it's late, and it's like we're down 18-16, game is 21, and it's like
Just gonna
fine,
take
give
it
me the
over, right.
fucking ball. Let me just do what I gotta do. That's Jalen Brunson with this team.
That last possession still has me so annoyed.
Yep.
like
Yep.
finally, and fans have been asking for this. See, this is the point I was making in the last game. It's not. I'm not defending Tibbs. You guys have been asking for the 1-5 pick and roll. You
Mhm.
got it right there. That
Or
is a
pick and pop.
coach's call.
Yeah.
Or pick and pop.
Yeah.
1-5 action. You got it right there. The coach called that as the first play when they got the ball. Players have to execute.
Yep.
Players have agency. Cat got what he wanted. I know somebody was running at him. Take the shot.
Mhm.
Or make the pass sooner if you're gonna pass it.
Well, the problem is he rushed the pass.
Yeah.
Because he had faked and he rushed the pass to OG.
he
And OG thought he was taking a shot.
Right.
or OG. I mean, OG was cutting after the fake. I think OG made the right play there.
He
Mhm.
did.
Like,
Because he thought he
it's
was
like,
going
all right,
to take the shot.
He's not
Should
gonna
have taken
shoot,
the shot.
so I'm gonna cut. So either he'll shoot it, and I'll get I'll be in
Oh,
position.
did he
to
just
get the
hop off
rebound.
his ankle? Is that what we saw?
Who?
No, the Pistons will.
Oh,
Are
They're
they
challenging.
this?
They're challenging. But look at his hand. That's the problem for Hardaway. His hand is on his back.
Yeah.
That's the problem for him.
yeah.
I don't see how that's not going to get called.
I don't know if they're
Watch
gonna
his
reverse
hand.
this. The right hand.
See?
I thought it was more on his back, but
Mm.
I think that's it. I think they're going to lose this challenge.
Oh, I felt like the game was flying by, and
I,
was.
you know,
And now it's come
and
to a
now it's just
crawl.
gonna be. It's already 10.
what are they
Yup.
chanting?
That's what I said I said earlier. That ain't happening. I don't know. It's flopper. I think they're chanting flopper.
Yeah.
Oh, how creative Detroit fans.
But I think that, look, I have a high bar with Chance as somebody who watches wrestling occasionally
Uh-huh.
and has from my childhood. Like, it has to pass. If it passes the wrestling test, I think it's an acceptable chance.
Okay.
I think Flopper's fine as far as chance go.
I didn't grow up with wrestling, but I've seen it in recent years, and I completely understand the appeal.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm not a fan of the wrestling.
It's drag for straight men.
Damn, that's pretty good.
I've heard it called that before.
But I didn't make that up. I'm not coining that. But
won't
that's exactly what it is.
I won't refer to it as that.
Of course you won't. Of course you won't.
I have,
But that
nothing,
doesn't-
I have nothing against drag.
You don't have to. You don't have to have something against drag to make that
It's
statement.
incredibly athletic, obviously.
Yes, I understand the comp.
I've used live action movie in the past.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Oh,
No
come
foul
on.
on the play.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever. Let Tim Hardaway Jr. feel himself. Flopping ass. That's what he said.
You saw that, right? You saw that, right?
Yeah, flopping ass B word.
But
I'll
this is the
say
thing.
after
This is
that.
the thing. Like, why? Okay, if you're the Knicks now, why are you going up to the official? Look, these dudes aren't going to change their
They're
mind.
not,
Yeah.
You're never going to change the call.
Like,
Man,
Just-
sit your
just
Miami
play.
Heat self down.
just play. Hey, he's supporting his son. I get it. He is. I do remember him as a Heat player first and foremost, but
That's what I see first and foremost.
yeah.
Cat, witness tip, please. Please. That's a foul.
Looks like Cat might have gotten hit in the tip.
Oh,
Nope.
good Lord.
Or is that his arm instead?
That hit the
Grabbing his
chest.
pec?
Stomach, chest. I don't know what body part this is. I've had like 4 guesses. I might have been wrong on all of them.
I hope he can jump.
I know, right?
He's got like the wind knocked out of him.
That sucks. I don't even know how it happened, but it sucks.
And look at Jalen Durant flopping. But he knocked the ball away.
Jalen Durant
Come on.
Jalen Durant is one of those dudes you could like let him like test his own strength because he doesn't realize how strong he is.
Uh-huh.
Gotta check that age.
All right.
What's happening now?
Big
Oh.
possession here. Come on.
All right. Cat got scratches on his arm.
Mhm.
I feel like he's had that all series. Maybe it just hasn't gone away.
Looking like Jokic.
Always.
Jokic always has scratches.
Always.
But listen, by this time, someone was saying this to me the other day. By this time of the season, of the postseason, all players are kind of banged up and scratched up like that.
No doubt.
You only notice it on the high yellow ones.
You do. You do. You really do. The darker skinned players, you do not see this. Good pass.
Let's go.
pass.
Let's
Excellent score
go.
there by Josh Hart.
Josh Hart's timing on some of these cuts, man.
Oh, and this is why we need him. Also, those 8 rebounds, like we missed those for sure.
Yeah, while he was out. Remember, he has 5
Yep.
fouls. Do you remember?
Yep.
Gotta remember that.
Oh,
Oh, he passed it late too.
Yeah.
And the Knicks didn't make him pay
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, Hart tried to
He
go
couldn't
for the
be more-
steal,
more
and he couldn't be as
aggressive.
aggressive as he wanted to. They are really pressuring Brunson with a search.
Durant is
option.
20. Wow. On 8 attempts and also a bunch of
free throws that he hit.
Yeah.
That's not a foul?
how are they not calling this?
Oh boy.
I don't know. It's a lot of
That made me
contact.
nervous.
Oh my goodness.
That made me nervous.
When he brought it back all the way.
What are you doing, Cat? What are you doing?
Oh, come
Oh my
on.
goodness.
Oh, what is going on?
Foul him. Oh, you can't.
He can't. He can't.
Oh, yeah. Sheesh.
Asar almost missed that.
I knew Brunson was going to take the shot because
And
no
it's not going to
Thompson
make
on
it.
him.
Yeah.
Cat.
And they calling it a
Offensive
charge.
Cat with the
Cat
foul. on the
offensive
rebound.
foul.
This is
He
just a
pushed
mess.
somebody out of the way to get that rebound. Let's see. Look at that. The late pass.
I said that I didn't want the fourth quarter to look like the second quarter, and it looks
Mhm.
exactly the same.
Mhm.
It looks exactly the same as the second quarter,
and then here, Josh Hart, like he wanted to.
but he couldn't.
He couldn't.
Man, he touched them too. And
Yeah,
if the ref
no, he's
wanted,
so lucky.
if the ref wanted
So
to be
lucky.
ticky tack,
Yep.
oh my goodness. And the Knicks don't have a challenge either, right? So
Nope, out of challenges.
What's happening?
They're in the
Oh
penalty.
yeah,
penalty,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right. Cat has how many?
4?
Cat has 5.
5. Jesus.
Awesome.
Cat's got 5.
Josh is 5.
OG
OG
has
4.
Yeah. This is shaping up to be. I don't
The
even
Knicks
know.
got to get their act together, man.
Listen, 4 minutes is a lot of time, but they've got to.
They got to start getting some
Last
stops.
3
and
possessions
stop
have been
Playoff
turning the
gross.
ball over.
Playoff basketball is so stressful. All of these games in every series.
All right, we got some 1-5 pick and roll.
blocking foul.
Yeah, that's just crazy. They can be so aggressive because they're
Mm-hmm.
3 fouls away from the penalty.
Yeah, I wonder why they're taking Asar out for a breath.
For 3 fouls, like with 4
they-
minutes
Maybe they want him
left.
that.
Like,
Maybe it's a quick breather.
Yeah, maybe.
All the way, Josh. No foul?
really?
That's a little surprising, but
He still hasn't made
okay.
it back. There he is.
I'd like a replay of that.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, he's open. Too hard.
Great rebound by
Good
Josh.
rebound. He's attacking. Oh, too high. Wow. I think that was the right shot.
Mm-hmm.
Knicks can't hit anything.
What is Bridges doing there?
Timeout.
All right. I'm
This is
gonna get this on, so I'll be off camera for 1 second.
this is stressful.
This,
None of this
you
is
think?
good. None of this is good for the health of the Knicks fan.
None of this is good for
at
any of
all.
our. We were just talking about how we're too old.
I'm too old for this shit. None of this is good. Like nobody for the people who want to watch and see us stressed. God bless you.
Are you not stressed also?
I feel a little bit. This is a bit nerve-wracking. Just because I can't believe that the second quarter has looked exactly like the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter looks like the Knicks have 9 points.
Yeah.
9 points in this quarter.
Also, I lost my earpiece here, so
Everybody was like, okay. The Knicks scored 37 points in the first and third quarter. And I don't even know what they're on pace for in this fourth quarter. They had 22 in the second. They have 9 right now. Look, this is not going to be good. This will not be a happy post game.
this will not be a happy post game.
This will not be happy Knicks fans at all.
I feel like I have to clear my text notifications right now. There's too many.
Yeah, that's why I was keeping my phone. I kept my phone away for a little bit. JD, our guest from the last show, just texted me, asked me if I'm nervous yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's gonna feel himself.
There you go. There you go.
Tim Hardaway Jr. doing Tim Hardaway Jr. things, guys.
Oh, he almost took it.
Oh my God, they can't hit anything.
No, nothing's
They're
falling.
getting good looks and they just can't hit it.
Four of 18.
4 of 18 from the field in the fourth quarter.
Wow. Wow.
And they couldn't make him pay for that turnover. That's the thing. And 1.
They needed that so bad.
Very much.
When was the
Very
last time they
much.
scored?
It was a
gotta be
couple
like
minutes,
5-minute
yeah.
drought for
Right.
sure.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know last time I had a field goal either. 2 of 10 for Brunson in the fourth quarter. Hey, I'll still trust him more than anybody else.
100%.
I was gonna say the problem is,
They're challenging this?
The problem is they know that.
I mean, he has a use it or lose it challenge, but
Yeah.
I'm about to save it for something else.
I definitely would. But JB Bickerstaff is not a.
So
He doesn't seem like the best with using these.
Oh man, how's the vibes of everybody watching with us? We know the vibes of Dad Adventures podcast. He says the word Saturday. This is okay. Dad's Adventures podcast. We hope your anniversary is going well, and not just for you. So, yeah. Best commercials of these entire playoffs. Anything with Beyonce.
Oh, anything with Beyonce.
We appreciate. Although, can we be honest? We said last time, we know damn well Beyonce ain't wearing no Levi's.
Of course not. This has always been my thing. And I feel like I was maybe 9 years old when I first said Tiger Woods does not drive a Buick. Like,
like, why are they trying to lie to us? Like, we know this.
I mean, Levi's aren't bad, to be fair.
I mean, fantastic quality denim, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, they ain't sponsoring the show, but you can keep making all the commercials with Beyonce you want. I will have no complaints. Challenge is unsuccessful. What a shock.
All right. Well, I'm seeing her at the end of the month, so at least I got that to look
Are
forward
you
to.
going?
I am going.
Okay. I did not care to go for this tour.
I am not a huge, this is not my favorite album of hers.
Same. It is not
I am
for
not
me.
a huge country person.
Same.
I keep telling people who want to say she did not do a real country album that the proof that she did is that I did not quite care for it.
All the country people are going to be so mad at that statement. And so I got to start using that now. I thought it was okay. I just, it's not something, I don't remember the last time I've gone back and revisited it.
Mhm.
But I have recently bought Renaissance and Lemonade on vinyl.
100%.
So they lost a challenge,
They did.
Yes.
Yes.
which was the least shocking thing of this quarter so far.
But I'll listen.
Other than the Karl-Anthony
Burn the
Towns
timeout.
turnover.
I'll take that.
All right. This is crunch time, people.
Yeah, this is
Need to
big.
stop.
Real crunch time.
Oh,
Almost.
Well, it's a good
Almost pulled
double.
that trigger.
Good
Nice 50
rotation.
out.
good defense.
Fantastic defense.
Yeah, that was.
No Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley hasn't been in a while, actually. Now I
Yeah.
think about it.
I get it because
He only had
this
the
group
2 free throws.
this group went on a run, but man,
I mean, I kind of like when coaches do that sometimes, though.
oh
That
wow,
was-
they're
I mean,
so
listen,
lucky.
That was a
Right.
good, well-executed
was-
play. The Knicks got lucky.
I think Detroit wanted to get it closer. I almost burped.
That's fine. If the burp helps,
If the
the
burps
Knicks
help,
get a
you got to
shot,
keep going.
You got to help keep going.
Yeah, the chicken's coming back from earlier.
Oh,
boy.
Baseline.
Oh,
Come
my
on. No one to
goodness.
pass to.
Wow.
How?
Yo, how did he keep his foot control?
I
keep
don't
his
know.
dribble?
I
That's
don't-
the most amazing thing.
He was almost
Wow.
directly under the basket.
Yeah,
He's taking 30 shots.
not. And Towns still is stuck on a 10, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's too. That's
Okay.
too deep.
All right. All right.
Oh,
Ah.
that might be out on Towns. Let's see.
The footwork, the
No,
balance.
really,
my
and how he
God.
didn't fall backwards.
Yeah. Also,
Jesus.
credit Schroeder. Schroeder could have jumped into him and actually did a pretty good job there of not doing that.
Yeah, that was
Ooh,
well defended up until the end.
honestly, that's a man who's done his squats. Honestly, no, like real talk.
Great
Yeah.
lower
That is
body.
the practical application of doing your squats.
Facts. All right, 123 to go. Cat with a
Let's go.
defensive
Come on,
play.
Cat.
Oh,
What are you?
Did they call foul?
They better have called a foul.
I think so because
'Cause-
everyone's booing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know it was a whole.
I like going from being hyped about Cat making a defensive play
Yeah.
to being like, how did
How
you
did
blow
that-
that?
Right.
Yeah.
To be
And
like,
to be like, oh,
oh,
yes.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 for
Foul.
Duran.
Oh my god. Oh, that was too much.
Oh boy,
Cat, hit your free throws.
Jesus! It's 10 attempts. He's 9 points.
I mean, that technically would have been his first shot attempt. It doesn't count because he got fouled in the
Mhm.
quarter.
Thank you.
right. Woo!
I can't even look at my phone. I gotta turn it around.
No, everything
Yeah,
is.
don't
every-
look
yeah.
at the game log.
D&D, like.
Yeah.
Nope. Come on, man. Come on, Cat.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Get that rebound. He got his own rebound. Come on, really?
Oh, Knicks ball.
Tripped over his own
All right.
teammate.
It's fine. It's fine.
Cat was so short on that free throw. That could have been a foul on the Sir Thompson.
And he hit himself in the face. That's unfortunate. Josh Hart knows something about that.
I do love Josh coming and just being like, yes. He does know something about that.
Precious praying.
Knicks need a good possession here.
Someone's gonna blow this from some team. I just.
Well,
I mean, okay.
at some point in the game,
I was
that's what
just
happened.
like-
Factual statement.
No, I think this is gonna have another controversial finish.
Oh, we don't need that.
A lot of people's mental health are in jeopardy right now.
Hi.
Oh wow,
Wow. Fantastic defense.
well
by Sir Thompson.
defended.
But this is what happens when your offense becomes too predictable,
Yup.
right?
Mhm,
Look.
mhm.
That's a good. That's a great defensive play by a young player.
Who we said may be all defense, not just one day, but within
Like
the
maybe,
next,
like maybe next year.
like within
he
the
might be
next
that
couple
next
years.
year.
Yeah,
He's that
within
good.
the next couple
on
years,
defense.
if he just stays on the floor, gets consistent minutes.
And that missed free throw by Cat could be huge.
Oh boy, man, they're comfortable with getting during the ball
Mhm.
a lot.
And what's crazy is he's been hitting his free throws.
Were the Knicks not? Maybe the Knicks weren't prepared for this. Maybe this is one of their adjustments because they haven't. I don't feel like
Who's
they've
that
hit.
on? Cat or Hart?
Oh, that matters.
Towns.
So he fouled out.
Yep. One of them we're gonna foul out there.
Carl.
Carl is gonna get the vitriol.
Here comes
10
Mitch.
shot
Rough.
attempts.
This is rough.
If you're Detroit, do you risk it? Do you just foul Mitch right away?
Which is maybe why if I'm the Knicks, I wouldn't have played him.
Mhm.
I don't know who you're gonna do. Are you gonna go to
Precious?
Precious Achua?
Has Precious played a minute this
No,
series?
he's not played
No.
a minute this
No,
series.
you can't
No.
then. Just play Mitch. Play Mitch and just pray.
Now, normally you're like, this is a whatever good foul, but he's gone 8 of 8
Mitch
from
is
the line today.
Yeah.
He's
It's
he's
ridiculous.
not, he can't
Yeah.
keep making these, right?
Hey!
Brian with the good jinx.
I was like, Jalen Duren's not like he's
Well,
not.
here's the thing: you can't do the hack a Mitch in the last 2 minutes.
That's true.
of the game.
Mhm.
So that's gone.
That's
Mhm.
true. That's right.
Um,
It's a great point.
And
but
that is a good rule.
Jalen, yeah, that is a good rule, which I think is fair. I think it's fair strategy till then. I have no problem with
Still no Malik Beasley, huh? No Hardaway either. This is a defensive
it. Missed free throw still.
All right.
burns.
defensive look,
All
I
right.
guess. Oh, timeout.
Yeah, what did the Knicks do here? Can it? Is that their last time out?
Robert Rivera says, "Would Game 7 be considered overtime for you guys?"
Unfortunately, no. It's still a work day for me, so no, it's not overtime.
I'm at the fan for Saturday no matter what.
Oh
so
man, you got to have to work during the game 7. That's not enjoyable
For me, it will be, but that's fine.
for you. Will be for me.
I'm good with
It's
that.
not.
DJ 31 says, "Fire Tibbs."
I mean, listen.
is
Hey,
it the first time that's actually come through? Because I'm like, I would have taken the way under on that bet.
if this goes 7,
Hmm.
if this goes 7 and they win and then just get destroyed by Boston,
Uh-huh.
then I
here's the thing. Now that
It'll
we
get
saw
louder.
coaches get fired 10 games to go in the season, 4
Yeah.
games to go in the season,
good
fans
coaches
are
too.
like, oh, why not fire the coach in the middle of a playoff series?
Well, I think.
Why not?
Listen, I think given Mike Malone, we have no idea what's going to happen.
This is
with
true.
with
So I
any
understand why
coach
fans
ever
are now like
again,
fire
so-
Tibbs now. They're like,
And again, I told you, I think Knicks fans are probably looking at like, wait, they could actually get Mike Malone if they fire Tibbs.
I'm not sure that's better,
or
though.
Taylor Jenkins if they fire
Taylor
Tibbs.
Jenkins makes Mike Malone's
You
a guy
know?
who doesn't like playing young kids,
Mm.
only plays veterans. It's a little stubborn with the
He'd
minutes.
be similar.
You just,
He'd be
so
similar.
basically, you just,
And he wouldn't have Jokic.
you just want right. So you basically just want
doesn't
Tibbs.
come
You
with
just want
Jokic.
Tibbs from New York. That's all you're asking for. Like,
Yeah, Mike Malone is from here. Although I would love it just for one reason, and that is the media sessions.
Oh my
with Mike
God.
Malone
Oh, that'd be
and the
fun.
New York
Oh,
media.
he'll be
Yeah.
fun.
His
That'd be
New
fun.
York
I'm
ass.
here for that.
Oh,
Yes.
Give it right
Shout
back,
out to my
yeah.
guy Wardy, great Mets content creator, says, I'm stressed, Dexter. This hasn't been fun. I understand, Wardy. I understand.
Hang in there, Wardy.
come on, Jalen. Someone's
Somebody
got to come
come to the
around to help.
ball.
I told you I hate when these players pick up their dribble too soon
Mm-hmm.
and no one's around to help.
Mm-hmm.
Attack.
He has
Brunson.
a oh nope, he'd step back.
Hey!
Bridges with a big
Wow.
moment. Mikal
It's huge,
Bridges, God,
huge.
he's been huge tonight.
Yeah.
Dallas got to get the stop, Knicks. 25 for
What's
Bridges.
happening?
11,
Are we still
16.
playing
11 for
or
16.
okay? 2 for 1? Or are they gonna just try to get one?
It looks like they're going to play it
Mm-hmm.
the way they're going.
All right, here we go.
It's too late for it now.
Nice.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Rebound, Hart. Hey,
How many do we have left?
One. That's the last one. Tibbs was on top of his timeouts, guys. Hart got the rebound and knew what to do. Just saying. Knicks have a chance to win this game. This feels a lot like Game 6 in Philadelphia last year. Hart hit a big shot.
And Brunson's probably gonna do that. He's probably gonna try to create
God,
a shot.
what
similar
a
to
tap!
that.
What a tip in by Bridges.
I think if Brunson's gonna take the last shot, which you'd expect,
Right.
Can I suggest who I'd like to see take the last shot here?
You gonna
Mikal
say
Bridges?
Mikal?
Yep. I might like running something for Mikal here.
They have 20 seconds, so I feel like they might just ISO and see if anyone gets open or whatever.
Mm.
But if it's Brunson, my point was gonna be shoot it with like a few seconds left,
Yes.
just to see if you can get a rebound. We'll see.
East Blue, our guy East Blue Drew, who always hops in late.
Pray to
He said,
every
"Pray
guy.
to every guy.
All of them.
He said all of them. We better win. Hey, whatever higher power you believe in, if you don't believe in a higher power, it's okay. Have some faith.
Listen, at this point, if you're a Satanist, please just like whatever.
Whatever
comes
bad
over
juju
here, like,
you
I
got
don't-
put on the other team.
yeah.
I think everything is being accepted here, as long as you don't put any bad juju on us.
Right. No,
Everything
no,
is
no.
being
Or the
accepted.
world.
Or
But
the
like.
world. Everything is being accepted here. This is going to be very interesting how the Knicks play this. If I'm so intrigued because if the Knicks have to, you obviously have to take the shot with time running out.
Mhm.
You cannot shoot too early,
Mhm.
All right.
unless somehow unless you have a wide open dunk or layup, you got it. But
If you just tune in to see this reaction to whatever this play is going to be, welcome.
Hello.
yeah, welcome.
We're
Hit that
glad-
like button.
we're
Hit
glad
that
you're here.
subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Our
to,
eyes are far wider than they were
subscribe
for
to
the first.
channel and subscribe to all of us individually. Also, we do our own things. Okay. Asar Thompson, big spot. Is he going to foul him?
Okay, so this is isolation.
This is
10
just
seconds.
ISO.
Here comes the
Bridges
screen
popping.
from Bridges. Nope. Oh,
Oh! What a shot! Ice in his veins! Kiss to the world! What a
All right,
shot!
There's still 4 seconds.
There's still 4 seconds
But
to go, but they got
holy
to hit a
shit.
screen.
I said shoot it with a few
You
seconds
did.
left.
You absolutely did.
Wait, okay, so look.
Oh, he caught him
Oh.
hard with that cross.
Yeah, I don't think he pushed.
Ooh, he didn't push him.
That's
but
what I
he caught
wanted
him
to
hard
see,
with
if he
that
pushed
cross.
him off.
Nope.
It looked, ooh, that's bad. I saw.
Mm.
Ooh, he
Shit.
caught him hard. He made that man touch earth. And
All right.
wow, is this
So,
another
Does Detroit
big time playoff
Does
moment for
Detroit
Brunson?
bring in Malik Beasley, who hasn't really played this quarter at all?
Yes.
You got to.
Hold?
Yes.
You got to.
I think you do too, but ooh,
And blowing the 3 kiss to the crowd. I love it.
look at
I look like Ariel Purdy. Oh, I look like Ariel
oh
Purdy.
my goodness.
Do we give Coach Tom Thibodeau credit for drawing up that play?
What did he draw?
He put the ball in the best player's hands. I mean, this is a game after the fact that he did not use a timeout to get his best player on the court.
Yeah.
He put the ball in his best player's hand, and it wasn't a complete ISO. There was a little pick
To
and
be
roll
fair,
action.
I think every NBA coach
Would
probably
have done that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like from Eric Spoelstra to who's the worst coach in the NBA?
Oh God.
Whoever coaches the Wizards, no disrespect.
Oh.
I forgot his name. That's
yeah.
not good.
All right.
Here we go. Knicks got to get a stop. Oh, Beasley got to open for a second in the corner.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh! Beasley with the fumble.
Again.
In the closing seconds, he couldn't hold on. Where's the shimmy now?
Who's
Because
got Bryan?
He hasn't played all quarter.
Let's go,
And the
boys.
Knicks win.
Let's
The
go.
Knicks are going to Boston.
Thank the
And Josh Hart says,
Lord.
get out of here. Let's go home.
Ah,
Knicks in 6 plus 470.
Knicks at
let's
6.
go.
Woo!
Ah.
How you feeling?
Relieved?
All right.
A little hype?
What a series. What if it another game decided by 3 points or less?
Just this
15
series was
points for the last 5 games of the series.
combined.
You
right?
know,
Combined.
you know who I want to shout out here in the chat? I have to shout him out because he's a real one. And we have to salute him.
From Detroit.
Yes,
Or
from
from
Detroit.
Yes.
Dad Adventure Podcast. You rocked with us the whole game. You're very classy.
Happy
You said,
anniversary.
great game. Knicks and the fans. He talked, he talked his trash, but he kept it respectful. Very classy. We respect you, and you're welcome anytime. Dude, we're gonna be doing this the next series. You want to come and watch and root for the Knicks? Jump on the bandwagon.
Might do this next year again
Yeah.
because the Pistons ain't
We
going
might just
nowhere.
get respect to the Pistons. They're a tough
Yep.
team. They've showed a lot of heart. And Dad Adventure Podcast, we got to salute you because you were a good fan. You made this experience fun for us. So I want to salute you. Happy anniversary to you and your wife.
Your team gets Cade a number 2.
Mhm.
You might
you
be a
guys are gonna
top
be a
4
problem.
seed.
Yeah, you guys will be a problem. All right, see a lot of happiness in the chat. Juliana Turtle says, "Yay, Knicks." Renee Laborde, let's go.
Please read East Blue.
East Blue
Drew's
Drew.
comment.
Okay, let's go.
Not
Cardiac
that one,
affair.
the second one.
Jesus, my blood-borne pressure. Robert Rivera says, "Bring Oreos."
Bring Oreos.
I see what you did there, sir. I see what you did there. So Knicks win 4-2. We will have Brian Lewis, the great sports reporter from the New York Post.
Yes.
Basketball
Stay
writer.
for post game.
Stay for
We'll be
post-game.
here for a little bit.
We'll talk a little bit for Brian, then myself, Kavitha, and Brian will break it down for a little bit before we go home because it is getting late.
Are we previewing Celtics?
Yes.
So we'll be here for a
A little bit. We'll get a little bit. That's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
more for this weekend. We'll dive into the Celtics
Yes.
this weekend. Did you have fun?
I had so much fun.
You're 1-0.
This was fun. I am
Yo,
1-0.
mad
1-0.
pressure on you.
I am 1-0
Because Doug was going to come for
No,
you.
Doug was actually. I love you, Doug. Was gonna come for me. I am 1-0 with you guys. The jersey is 1-0. So
There we go.
Patrick never fails us.
There we go. Pat Ewing. Shout out to the big
The
legend.
Bad Bunny LWO.
There you
shirt
go,
is
exactly.
1-0.
Is 1-0.
Yeah.
We got a Jackie Brooklyn
Jackie Robinson,
Dodgers,
Brooklyn
of
Dodgers.
course.
We're
Can't
repping
go-
a lot of different.
We
a lot of
are.
different causes. And
A lot of
cultures.
different
Yeah.
causes.
You know.
Yeah, I like it. We had to Black history. Some technically I should probably wear the Ewing jersey for the Caribbean history.
Yes.
Yeah.
There too. A lot of different things represented.
We got
here.
3 boroughs represented. It's a whole thing.
That is true.
This is true.
That is true.
This is true, man.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite borough?
Staten Island.
Yeah.
Like, it's sorry, but
No disrespect, but you know.
I mean, listen, Wu-Tang, but
I haven't been to Staten
Yo,
Island
that-
since college.
There's a fair question somebody asked me once. Is like, what else is good has come from Staten Island besides Wu-Tang?
they have very good pizza. They really do.
They do. That's true.
And-
It's the Italians that moved from Brooklyn to Staten
That's
Island.
There's a lot of
that's
South
exactly
East
why.
South
recipes, you
East.
know.
This is true. This is true.
I interned at the Staten Island Yankees when I was in college.
Did
so
you?
I did. So I've spent a
Mhm.
lot of time, but I don't know if that's in Staten Island because it's literally right off the ferry.
It's
It is
right off the-
it is
yeah.
one of the most beautiful ballparks. Like the view of Lower Manhattan.
It's really
in the
nice. It's
Outfield,
beautiful.
that is actually I highly recommend.
The text I'm getting from
Minor league baseball is a good experience.
I love
actually,
minor league.
live.
And the Cyclones do
Yes.
it better than almost anybody else.
So
does.
Cyclones are
the
great.
first minor league baseball game I ever covered was Cyclones Yankees was it MCU at the time? Probably.
MCU at the
Yeah.
time.
2016, and it went 20 innings.
Mm.
So it was me, a couple reporters, and like the Cyclones interns until like 3 a.m.
I
just
was
there.
at the SI Yanks, and listen, it's single season, short A. It's short A,
Yeah.
single. It's
Yeah.
short season, single A is
Short
what, right?
season, single A, yeah.
But I was there. Phil Hughes came through. Robbie Cano came
Ooh,
through.
Yeah.
On the opposing team, Pat Venditti. You remember the
Oh,
switch
yeah.
hitter, switch
Okay,
pitcher?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I saw some things.
Yeah. I had Justin Dunn, Pete Alonso,
Nice.
actually, and Jose Reyes when he came back for that stretch. Me and Dexter were actually both there for that. But the Knicks win in 6.
Woo!
How are y'all feeling?
I
mean,
feel I'm gonna tell people. I already had scheduled this. This is for my birthday last week. I'm getting a massage tomorrow.
There you go.
Man,
Yes,
that shit
very
is so
deserved.
necessary. Oh man, for other reasons, work, just life and just me. I do some self-care every year for my birthday, and after watching this,
Mhm.
I appreciate all the guests we've had sitting in this chair.
Yes.
I appreciate my brother Bryan here.
Yes.
Kavitha, I'm glad you were here to close it out. But
3
these have
days.
been stressful
No,
days.
Now
Let's get
3
those
days
knots
between
out.
games now.
Yeah.
So,
You everybody have their earpiece in?
yeah, I have
Oh.
That's
mine.
good. And you have your pack on, so you can hear. I'll
I think
turn this
I'm
on for you.
disconnected, actually.
There you go. We'll get you all connected. I
Sorry.
think our guest is coming on. So you can hear. We can talk to Bryan.
Yeah.
Everybody should be good. So yes, Knicks win 116-113. Another thriller, guys. Another thriller here for the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, hero once again. Another huge playoff moment. I think there's some big moments for the Knicks here down the stretch. It shouldn't be forgotten at all whatsoever. But what we're going to do is we do every time here for the post game. We're going to have my guy, Brian Lewis, the great sports reporter for the New York Post. We should have him up here on the screen and with us very soon. Brian, are you with us?
Oh, yeah.
How you doing?
All right. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing as good as I can be. These games have been stressful. Could you imagine watching these games if you were rooting for this team, Brian?
I can't. But it's great drama, though.
Fantastic drama. What do we make of? I mean, we've seen so many big shots from Jalen Brunson, time and time again. This is to close a series winning shot. Is this the number one Jalen Brunson moment that we've seen here in the playoffs in terms of his playoff performances?
Probably. I mean, I voted, listen, he had my vote for clutch player. I feel better about it. I was confident in it before. I feel even better about it now, man. The guy's got a set of stones, man. He's really, really one of the best signings I can imagine of the last decade. Truly. Anywhere in the league.
Yeah. It's hard to say that he has not been one of the best signings. I think people will look at that shot for sure, but I think that I cannot notice the performance by this player. Mikal Bridges was tremendous tonight.
Yes, he was.
And we could talk about Brunson's moment here, but did Mikal Bridges, was this his, I said this during the broadcast with all of us sitting here, he needed a Knicks playoff moment. He needed one throughout this playoffs. How big was this for him, the performance with the 25
I thought he was great. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, he's had moments defensively, which I think unfortunately go unnoticed sometimes.
Mhm.
But offensively, I mean, he was great getting out in transition. I think what was he, 11 for 16,
Yep.
hits the game tying shot, and as great and as you point out correctly, as great as Brunson is, I mean, you need your, for lack of a better term, supporting cast to come in and do the job. And while Cat was hiding in the second quarter and the third quarter, and then fouling out in the fourth quarter, there was Mikal doing the job. I thought he was outstanding. There were times again where Cade is he's bigger, he's stronger, he's gonna have problems with him, but you can't really ask for much more than what you got out of Mikal. And I agree with you. He needed a performance like this. They needed a performance like this from him, and he was there for them.
No, he was absolutely there. Look, I thought, and I'll let the other Kavitha and Brian ask some questions here too. But I thought if the Knicks didn't win this game, Brian, it was going to be Karl-Anthony Towns was going to get a lot of heat, and he is going to skate by right now. The man only had 10 field goal attempts. He missed a free throw that could have tied it. He then fouls out of the game. He's been bailed out. Are you have any concern about him? We'll get into Boston in the next round, but do you have any concern about, the fact that he did not show up in a big game, in an elimination game here?
Well, my concern is only his mindset, right? I'm not at all concerned with his skill set. I'm only concerned, and what I would say is, I mean, I don't think it was a mentality coming into the game, because I actually liked the way he played in the first quarter. That's what I want to see from him. I just want to see that throughout the game, right? He came out, he was aggressive in getting to his spots. He was aggressive in forcing his way onto the block. Now, that doesn't mean he has to try to be something he's not. It doesn't mean he has to try to imitate Shaq and be Shaq, right? But my point is, when you get to those spots on the floor and you're aggressive in getting to those spots, even if you're not taking the shot, even if you're not posting, just your presence there makes that team better, right? Just your ability to draw a double creates opportunities for other guys. And that's what he was doing early. That's what he stopped doing in the second. That's what he stopped doing in the third. And then, of course, his rebounding is his rebounding, and that's fine. That board work was fine. I have no qualms with it. I just worry. I shouldn't say worry. Let me retract that. I'm just befuddled sometimes at the way he can be so aggressive early and just utterly lose that aggression late. That's my only concern.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out.
Brian, what would you give now that this is over? What would you give Tom Thibodeau in this series? What grade would you give him? Let's say.
Oh my God,
Professor
well,
Lewis.
You know I hate
here we
doing
go.
board guards. I hate them. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I would be at a loss. You would have to let me ponder on that one. What I'd say is this: I did like and I have no idea what Tibbs said to them at halftime. No clue. But I like the fact that this is a team that repeatedly lost every third quarter, unless I'm mistaken, in this series.
Except for this one.
Yep. And they came out. So this team came out prepared, right? From the first 5 minutes of this game, this team looked prepared. They came out and did something which has been impossible for them to do through this series and play well in the third quarter. And they had every opportunity, knowing they were still going to come back home to the Garden after they gave up that run and the defense had them looking flustered, to fold in the fourth quarter of this one and came from behind to win it. So I don't know. I would guess a B-, maybe. I don't know. I can't even. Here's the thing: I can't even downgrade him for the use of the bench because I've just conceded on him ever using it.
Right? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
You can't expect you can't expect him to do something all of a sudden now that he's never done. Right? What is it? Leopard can't change its spots. Tiger can't change its stripes. It is what it is. He's never going to use his bench. So I don't know whether I can even fairly downgrade him for all of a sudden not having an epiphany and deciding to use it.
It's fair. I think there's a lot of Knicks fans who've been critical. We have our friend Kavitha Davidson, who was here with us.
Hello.
And Kavitha talked about how the fact that Tom Thibodeau has not been malleable. That was the word you used,
Yeah,
right?
so I love that when you said, a tiger doesn't change his stripes, because that's kind of exactly the thing that I said. I'm resigned to it, right? This is who he's always been. And he's not malleable. And by that, I don't necessarily mean changing his plan in game all the time, but being able to read how players individually are doing, right? And that's, I think, the frustrating thing. And you see, I'm wondering, how concerned are you with how we've seen two different teams at any point within not just this game, but this series, depending on whether they figure out Jalen Brunson and whether Josh Hart is in foul trouble and can't be the scrappy playmaker that he is?
Well, that's certainly valid. Listen, you mean two different teams based on whether the opposition has figured out a way to slow Brunson?
Right. Exactly.
Well, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You're right. I think this team is even more reliant on Brunson, I suppose, than I thought they might be early in the season, right? When you've gone and you've added Mikal at great cost, which I won't even get into because I'm sure we've all discussed that ad nauseum. And having added Cat, the supposition would be that this team might be a little less Brunson reliant and a little bit more well-rounded. No, they're not. It's the same thing that they were before. They are going to be utterly Brunson reliant in ISOs. That's just what they are. So if you find a way to figure them out or figure him out, which is easier said than done, right? I don't know that they do have a viable plan B or plan C. They should, but I don't know that they do. And well, just look at this game. Just look at when they decided, okay, we're going to use Thompson and Schroeder, and we're going to extend this defense out.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to extend it out 94 feet, and we are going to use Thompson and make life hell on Brunson. It's not like they had another plan or another option. They didn't. It's just that Brunson willed them to victory, despite that. Not that they found a way to win around that. He just went through that and found a way.
They did. Found a way. Knicks come out with the victory, 116-113 over the Pistons. Before we let you go, Bryan, what are your thoughts now? Because everybody's going to shift their attention to Boston, obviously the next round, and this is what Knicks fans have been waiting for. And I think for a lot of Knicks fans, they want to see what is the gap, right, between these two teams. Knicks are 0-4 against Boston during the regular season. A lot of the games have not been close. What are you? I won't ask you for prediction. We'll get to that another time, later. But too early for that. Although you did a good job with the grade on Tom Thibodeau, I do want to say about that. I thought it was a pretty fair grade by you. Do you think the Knicks have a chance to win this series? Can they make it tough on the Celtics? And are you encouraged by how they came out of this very hard fought series against the Pistons? And does that help at all against the Celtics here?
I guess I'll take that in reverse order. Yeah, it always helps, I think. I think any time that you're spending together as a team, when you go through the fire, I think it helps. I don't think it's lip service when teams are always talking about, especially, when a team is first being put together and they say, well, we haven't been through it together and we're still learning. I don't think that's lip service. I do believe in that. So yes, I think it helps. Do I think there's a chance? Of course. There's always a puncher's chance. Always. And I'm not trying to speak anything into existence. There's injuries. There's guys getting off of their game. Anything can happen in a series. There's been a number of series, not just in the first round this year, but in years prior, where I looked and I said, under normal conditions, I would say this team does not have a great chance. And then something goes awry for the other team. Suspensions, injuries, what have you. But as we discussed, I think Boston over the years has grown out of that irritating habit that they used to have, where they would always have like 40 or 60 unserious minutes in the middle of a series and just throw away a game against a vastly inferior opponent. I think they've grown out of that. We see how they handled Orlando. Mm-hmm. And frankly, the problem is I'm not that confident in this Knicks team defending well enough over 7 games, 6 games to beat that Boston team. So when I say there's a chance, yes, I don't think it's a good chance. I certainly don't think it's a great chance. Most people that I talk to think Boston is the favorite. And I understand that Vegas may have OKC as a favorite. But most people in the league seem to feel that Boston going into the playoffs was a favorite. And part of that is probably a nod to just how great the West is and just how terrible the East is. So I understand that. So it's a lot easier to pick Boston, even if people view the teams as equal. Nothing I've seen from Boston would change my opinion that I think Boston is winning this whole thing if I had to pick a team. And nothing that I saw in this series changes my opinion that I think the Knicks will lose to Boston. Chance? Yes. Good one? No.
So you're saying somebody in the chat, I'm sure, is like, you're saying that there is a chance.
There is a chance.
So you're saying there is a chance.
That's the only part anybody
That's
heard.
the only part anybody,
Right.
the Knicks fans heard, except for the
So
ones
you're
that want Tom. We did have somebody in the chat say they want Tom Thibodeau fired today, so I'm sure they disagree.
Only
with
one,
your B-
surprisingly.
today. Surprisingly,
Goodness.
one. Surprisingly, only one. Look, it's a great win for the Knicks. Great series win. It was tough. Maybe some fans would have liked to seen it easier,
Some people would disagree on grade.
but it wasn't. So some people would disagree on your grade, Brian. They
No,
might.
Well, they
great.
would
Great
say
being
lower.
great.
They would say
Oh.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, he was talking about the grade
Yeah,
series. Sorry
yeah,
about
not the grade.
They could disagree the grade all they want. They could go to ratemyprofessor.com or whatever and see what you want to give Mr. Lewis.
What did you guys give him before I came on? What did you give him?
Tibbs?
What did you give him? C plus?
We didn't actually do a grade.
We didn't do grades, but now you said
Okay.
it. We put you on the spot, so I will take
Yeah.
being on the spot. I would give Tibbs a B minus here.
Okay.
I'll give him a
B,
B
what do you
minus.
say?
What do you say, Kavitha?
I think a B minus is fair. I'll give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt with B because I know that he's also not dealing with full strength, but that's partially his fault too. So
Yeah, I was in the B minus C plus range.
Okay.
as
Oh,
well.
C plus.
So
yeah.
Oh,
C plus is passing. That's good.
that's fine.
There
Yeah.
you go.
You know,
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
not great,
yeah.
but it's good.
It wasn't I didn't think there was anything egregious. He was well. Also, to be fair, I'm sure my initial prediction is probably coloring my view of the grade.
because you picked him in 7.
I picked them in 7. I
Mm.
really thought that this was going to be tooth and nail, down to the wire, last 5 minutes of this series, 4 minutes of this series, game tied in the Garden.
Well, you were close.
Yeah.
And Knicks fans running like, damn, how is this happening to it? Like, that's what I really thought was going to be happening. And they avoided having to go to those sweaty palm moments at all. So I'm sure that is probably coloring my view of the
I can
grade.
see that.
They actually
that.
outperformed what I thought they were going to do.
I can see that. Where
Now,
I
if you were a fan that thought, hey, this is a 3, this is a 6, this should be wipe out, this isn't going to be a challenge, and you thought it was going to be a sweep or maybe a gentleman's sweep,
I did,
then, well, there you go. If you thought it was a gentleman's sweep, then
but I thought it'd be a
they were
challenge.
probably looking at Tibbs looking at him a little cross-eyed and say, well, you underperformed. So I'm acknowledging that that's probably coloring my view.
That's fair. That's fair. That is Brian Lewis, great sports reporter for us with the New York Post, who's done a fantastic job of joining us after all of these playoff games. Brian, you are not off the hook. You will have to do this again against Boston, where hopefully it'll be fun and maybe the fans will be stressed. I don't know, but we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Good job by Brian there. Good grades. I think we were pretty fair with our grades.
Think so.
I'm sure people in the chat.
I had him
don't-
at 6, but it was a tighter 6 than I expected.
I mean, as
I
far
thought
as
they'd have 1 or 2 blowout wins.
it was a tight. I thought we'd have at least one, right? Like I thought there would be one laugher that we could rest our hat on. So
Yeah, I thought so. I think that's what's a little shocking to me. I thought there'd be one
Mhm.
laugh in there. I know I picked Knicks in 5. I do agree with what Brian said. It does kind of color my grade. If they won in 5, I'm probably giving him a B plus, or you know what I mean. But they won in 6.
I mean, grades are playing the results. Like even in
Mhm.
school, Like,
right? But
although I will say, after that first game where they needed literally a historic fourth quarter to
yeah,
actually pull that win out,
yep.
did your outlook on the rest of the series alter?
Not really, man. I still thought they could win in 5.
Okay.
And look,
yeah, you did.
I still really was. I still said after
Could
You
have.
thought,
Yeah.
you thought they'd win game 5.
yeah, I thought they'd win Game 5, and they did it.
I
thought
think a lot of people did.
I thought they'd win tonight. They did. Was it sweaty palms moments, as Brian just said?
yeah.
Yes. I think what we lose sight of sometimes is like at the end of the day in professional sports, nobody gives a damn about did you have these 10-point wins, 12-point wins? Did you find out to win? I think there's a lot you could learn in how they
Results
found out to win, the
business.
results
Yep.
business.
Mhm.
The Knicks found out multiple ways to win.
Yes.
And I mean, this one, their Captain Clutch came through.
Right.
I've been saying this all year. I brought it up in an episode of the show that we recorded, and I said this in the last thing. I was wondering if the identity of this team was them being clutch
Mm.
because they have one of the most clutch players in the league, and maybe that's the thing. Now, that might not work for you against Boston if you don't get to the clutch.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they're so good and you can't get to
gotta
clutch
be there.
moments,
Well, that's the
it doesn't matter.
foundation of him being clutch today was Mikal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like people got to give that man his credit. They've been harping on him all year, and you saw it in this game. He missed 3 3-pointers as a fan in here talking about, oh, Mikal stinks. It was like,
and the Pistons were up, was it 7 with a minute and change left?
I think it was an 8-1 run in like a span
Last
of
minute
a minute 40.
47 or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
The 1 or 2 minutes left. The Pistons had a 7-point lead, which generally, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are off the top of my head, but if you look up in NBA playoff history, teams leading by 7 with like 2 minutes to go, they generally win the game.
Feel safe.
Yeah, we saw
Yeah.
teams recently blow a 7-point lead with 40 seconds to go.
I gotta say,
So,
3
yeah.
Knicks fans talking about being up by 7 or more with more than 12
This is a
seconds
good
left
point.
is something that
This
we
is a
should
good
not
point.
bring
We should-
back.
Yeah, this is right. And you know what? The Knicks have been on the right side. This is not what Knicks fans are used to.
Mhm.
This is what annoys me with some of the fan base here. This recency and forgetting about how terrible this franchise
They
was. For
forgot
years.
who they were.
Yeah, you forgot who you are.
Yeah.
And
You
now
forgot where
that-
you came from.
These are series for Knicks fans growing up. You lose this series.
Yeah.
You lose this series. Now, I'm not gonna go as far as this comment we have right here. Gaza Zone, Detroit Chicken, Boston Chicken, Cleveland Chicken, Knicks in 6. All right.
Mm.
All right.
I'm not picking them against Boston. I'm telling you right now.
I'm look, what I'm saying for Knicks is enjoy this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Enjoy this.
Because next series
The next series is gonna be
tough.
different. Now, do I think there's some? Do you think? I'll ask you this, Kavitha. Do you think there's anything from this series? The same thing I asked Brian, that like they played a tough series, they're battle tested. These guys have gone through it together. That they could now bring against Boston, and they'll really get up for the series.
I mean, I guess you could take away one that obviously Jalen can be and is very clutch, that Mikal can step up at points. I think the takeaways are on the more negative side, which is Cat disappearing,
So you're
not being
concerned about
aggressive. I'm
that.
very concerned about that.
Uh-huh.
And what I asked Brian, which is, if Boston figures out Jalen, which we've seen through 4 games that they know how to do,
What do they do?
Yeah.
And
Drew,
for what-
Drew Holiday's hurt.
yeah,
So
fair.
there's that also. But I mean, Derek White's still there.
Right.
And that's the thing. And Boston has size to
Mhm.
throw on Jalen Brunson in a different way.
That's the thing.
Like-
Just from a sheer physical, it feels like the Monstars in a lot of ways, right?
They're well
It's
put
the
together
defending
team.
champions. You know?
And look, when you look at to your point, if Brunson doesn't have a gone, we don't know. They look rattled at times. Now, thank God for Mikal Bridges, and we also, I didn't even credit what Brian was on. OG Anunoby had a pretty solid
Mhm.
game tonight and
Really
played good. Those guys stepped up when Cat couldn't. This is what you designed this team for.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen those guys step up against Boston.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's really
the problem.
interesting.
And we only really had one game where we got close, if we're being real.
And Boston was shorthanded.
Yeah.
So, right. And Boston was shorthanded.
Boston was shorthanded.
I think they were just coming off a game against the Cavs too. It was
Yeah.
not ideal.
Like during the regular season, Boston generates the most threes by far. Like, it's not even close. It's like 50 threes a game. The Knicks allow like the 5th worst shooting percentage from 3. Like all the formulas are all going to tilt toward the better team, the defending champions. And you just worry because I think what people looking at this series will say is like, the Knicks messed around a lot with Detroit, who, while good, is probably a team that the Knicks should have beaten in 5
Mhm.
games and should have probably beaten with more cushion. I think that's the main thing. Like, going to 6 is one thing, but also the 15-point deficit across 5 games, I think people are going to hold that against them. And then looking at the Boston series, it's like, Boston's Boston. They're well rested now. They're a little banged up, but so are the Knicks. And just the matchup just hasn't been favorable for them.
My thing with people who have that vibe is, I wonder if they're thinking that the gap between the Knicks and the Pistons is probably closer than the gap is between the Knicks and Boston.
I think that'll be a common thought.
And-
Like coming out of this series.
I think people didn't realize that before going into the series. There's a lot of Knicks fans who thought that this was the gap between the Pistons and the Knicks.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's like this. And it's like, I think people misjudge that, is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
That's fair, but I think that it's a fair assessment that gap is smaller than it is between the Knicks and the Celtics, and that's a function of the fact that you've got 2 teams in the East who can compete with how good the West is, and then there's everybody else in tier 2 and then 3.
I also don't think Boston's unbeatable, but I don't think the Knicks this season, at least, are the team to do it based on what we've seen. Like if they push this to 7, I'll be surprised.
Mhm.
If they push this to 6, I might even be a little surprised, depending on how it's done. Like, how do they do it? Is there an injury or two, or whatever the case may be? Because it's just been a terrible matchup for them, and just Boston plays like directly like problematic for the Knicks in terms of, we talk about the overhelping. Well, guess who's going to play 5-out offense and shoot a lot of threes?
Boston.
Guess who's going to struggle on the wings defensively and make bad decisions occasionally? And guess who's going to make you pay for that? Now, Boston's not impenetrable the way that they seemed a year ago, because there's actual competition in the Eastern Conference now. And I do think the Knicks can give them a run, at least in some games. But I think Cleveland is much better equipped to challenge Boston. And honestly, Orlando, because of the way that they defend them. And I wonder if the Knicks, like, can they take something from that?
I was going to say, do they just go back and study a lot of tape from Game 4?
Yeah, because what Orlando did and what Orlando does better than anyone in the NBA is they limit the amount of threes you can take.
But the Knicks are terrible at that.
Right.
That's the problem. And
Yeah.
it's like, you would think that the Knicks have the personnel to not be terrible at that, because you have Wingstop with Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. This is a big Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby series.
These are big series for them. I agree.
Big series for them. Karl-Anthony Towns too. If you're Jalen Brunson, like, that's one thing. And if Jalen Brunson can't get you 30 a night, you're not going to have a chance anyway, probably. But those
guys
other
show
3
up.
dudes who are highly paid, and Mikal Bridges is playing for an extension still, like, this series could directly determine how much money you're going to make, because this is the standard. This is who you're going to be measured against. And I don't care about the reports talking about, hey, Boston may have to sell off parts. We know that. That's why ownership is changing. And this is why this team is not going to stay together for long. But they're here now, and they're not going anywhere, at least for the foreseeable future. So this is the bar.
So I guess a couple things I have before we wrap here for both of you guys. The first thing is, and we talked about this the other day, we talk all the stuff about Tibbs. He wins the series. We gave him our grades. But I think a lot of people, and I don't think this is unfair, are going to look at this series and say, this is a big series for Tibbs. You just talked about the players.
Big
Big series
series.
for.
I think Tibbs is kind of coaching for his job. I've
Yeah.
said that. Like, if you get
So you
swept,
agree with this? You agree with this
if
too?
you get swept,
But how does it have to look for him to keep his job? I think all of us sitting here would not predict. I will get the predictions before we leave. I don't think any of us sitting here are predicting the Knicks to win. But how does it have to look? If you do you agree that Tibbs is on I don't say the hot seat. The seat's warm.
I think the seat's warm.
They-
Yes, I do
they got
agree
the
with
lighted
that. I
around
do-
the-
right, yeah.
if you look like you're not in the same stratosphere
Yeah.
as Boston,
So
like,
it looks like the regular
If
season.
it looks like the first 2 games of the regular season,
Yeah.
especially,
yeah,
right?
like if it's like OKC, Memphis, Cleveland, Miami,
Yeah.
he's out of here.
Okay.
That's what I think.
So is let's say, I'm going to put hypotheticals out here. Let's say it is a gentleman's sweep, but it looks like these Detroit games where they're very close. Does that help him?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
If they can
Does
stay,
it make him keep his job?
I-
I don't know,
Ask Leon Rose, but
but it's helpful. You can at least go and say this is not
yeah,
class.
you could be like, oh, you're
If
not,
they're
you're
swept
not that far.
and if they're
Maybe.
swept and 2 of the games are 25+ point blowouts,
Mm.
he's done so.
I don't think I could say anything that definitively, but I think I think the goal is don't get embarrassed.
Damn, that's not fans don't
think-
want to hear
Sorry.
that.
No, I think fans do, because I think Knicks fans will be calling for him to be out if they get swept. I think Knicks fans will be calling for Tibbs to get. They're doing it now.
Yeah, this is true. Was
They'll look at the playoffs in totality. Like, you messed around with
somebody
Detroit.
said Tibbs' seat is blazing.
Like it's like you messed around with Detroit for 6 games,
Mhm.
and then if you turn around and get swept by Boston, I think this could be, again, a situation where it's like, all right, you need to find this is Mark Jackson, you need to find a Steve Kerr.
Mm.
This is JB Bickerstaff, you need to find a Kenny Atkinson. I think that's how they're going to look at it. And that's like, these are conversations that continue to be had, but like, also then you're going to ask a question in hindsight where you're like, all right, this team leaned more offense and didn't have the traditional defensive Tibbs style. So maybe he's not the right stylistic coach for them.
Mhm.
Like, these are the things that we're going to ask
These are-
ourselves and find out.
They're all major questions that are going to have to be asked in the offseason. This team is also a flawed team. I've been saying all year. It's very likely they're better next year than they are this year.
Yeah.
They don't have the depth. That's also a problem. And I'm seeing people coming here saying, regardless, we need the next level coach ASAP. Well, it's not going to happen until next season. But okay.
We'll see. If they push the Celtics to 7, then, you know, or God forbid, because listen, no one has no chance. If they even win the series, and if they win the series, he's probably getting an extension. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and some people are going to be real mad about that.
There are going to be some Knicks fans who have no idea how
No
to
idea
feel
how to
about this,
that. They're going
right?
to be like, oh, they're going to be happy to beat the Celtics, but Tim's still going to stay here. All right. You guys have predictions? Are you predictions already for the series?
Feels like such a bad time to be a downer when we just won that game. like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Like I don't mean to sound like negative, but I'm trying to be objective here. I'm looking at it from just a responsible lens. I mean, to me, I'm just gonna say Celtics in 5
Yeah.
because I think the matchup is bad, and the Celtics always mess around. I think the Knicks could push it to 6 too, but they don't beat Boston. And the regular season doesn't always reflect the playoffs. Like,
Mhm.
let's be clear about that.
Somebody
There
said
could be
that in the chat. I saw
there,
that.
there could be some injury stuff too. Like that's always the case. And I don't think it's going to be like they kick their ass for all 4 wins of those 5, but the matchup hasn't been good,
Yeah.
So if Boston's healthy, I'm going to say 5.
Boston in 5. What do you say?
I would also say Boston in 5. It's
You're going to say something else.
I am going to say something else.
it's,
So go
it's
ahead.
a size mismatch. I think it's it's just so easy. It's the Giannis strategy. If they can find a way, which I think they haven't, we've seen them to shut down Jalen. I don't trust anybody else to step up to the level that we need to have them against Boston, and I don't think the defense is there. So
you're going Celtics in 5, Celtics in 5. I agree with a lot of what you both have said.
However,
Can I finish?
I know you too well.
sir.
I agree with a lot of you guys said. Let me just get this out the way. I'm not going to
Gaza Zone
say.
says Knicks in 6. He's been taunting
I-
the entire time. with
Gaza
that.
Zone, we see. You're very optimistic. I am not Gaza Zone.
Respect.
I am
honestly.
not going there with you. I'm not going to that place. Here's what I think, though. I do think there's some value in how they played in this series and came out of it, despite people not going the way they thought it would or not being as easy as some people thought it would. I think a hard, toughened series for this team, despite I have concerns about Karl-Anthony Towns showing up. I've got concerns about the three-point defense, guys.
Yeah.
I've got concerns about Karl-Anthony Towns on offense and what he will do when they put Drew Holiday on him. I have concerns about all that. I do think the Knicks, I said this coming to this series, I thought they heard a lot of the talk of the stuff they've disjointed. I think they've known some stuff they have to fix. I also agree with you. I think it's a big series for Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. I think we may have seen a turning point for Mikal Bridges. I'm going to say that.
Maybe.
He's got to show more than this game.
Yes.
I think the Knicks are going to be a little bit motivated than they have. I think they get a game in Boston in the first 2.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see
I think they also will get another game at home. I'm going to give the Knicks 2 wins in the series.
Okay.
I thought about it.
I'm
long
going
and
Celtics in 6. I do not think the Knicks win
hard. I can see that.
for all the reasons you said, but I do think the Knicks get wins in the series. And I'm going to put another prediction out here.
Mhm.
They don't get blown out at all in the series.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
They're going to there'll be moments where it looks like it's going to get blown out, but they're going to show the heart and grit and fight back. So it's not a blowout.
Yeah.
I don't think they get blown out in the series, but I still think it's a series that at the end of it, you can still look at it and say, okay, what are we doing here? Is it the coach? Is it the coach that needs to change, or is it tweaks on the margin, or is it both?
Is it strengthening the depth? Which
Right.
I think is the main thing.
It could be
that we
both.
have
The
to look
answer
at.
could be
Yeah.
both here.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah.
I do think there's a lot riding on this series.
Yeah. The how is going to be super important in this series. Like, it's not just the results, but how you get there is going to be super important.
I'm also going to add this. We'll get into this more when we do our recorded episode of Got Game this weekend and all this stuff. But one thing the Knicks can't do in this series, if they have starts like they had today, they have first and third quarters like they had today,
Yeah.
and they finally had a good third quarter, as Brian Lewis mentioned with us. You cannot play with. I don't want to call Boston food because they're not food.
No.
You can't play with your toys, right? You can't play with your toys where you might be winning here. Can't do that. They will get you.
We saw the Magic have like a 22-point lead over the Celtics in Game 5,
Yeah.
and then
with just Paolo
Bloop.
and Franz.
I looked up and,
and then-
just
yeah.
Gone.
gone. So,
Gone.
Yeah.
So that's it. We got everybody else. Let us know our predictions. Gaza Zone obviously predicted Knicks in 6.
We have someone else saying
He said Knicks in 6. Remember that. We will remember that. And if the Knicks lose in 6 or whatever, or they win in 7, 6, you better be here. You have to show up, Gaza Zone. You have to show up for these live streams. And you have to go be here for the good and the bad and the ugly and all of it. We'll see if the Knicks can win. But to not end on a bad note, tonight, folks, is a good night. You should be happy if you're a Knicks fan. They got another playoff win. There's something they could build off of this. We'll see. You feeling good?
I'm feeling good. I just want to take 1 second, if I may, because
Yes.
I saw her comment come across. I want to say hi to my mother. Hi, Mama. Love you. And she is the reason that I'm a Knicks fan. When my parents first came here, she fell in love with Bernard King and became a huge Knicks fan, and it's the reason I'm a Knicks fan and a reason I'm a sports writer. So, hi, Mom.
Mom, we thank you too. Thank you. You raised the right being a Knicks fan. So it's
A lot of Bernard
good.
King mentions also.
We've had a lot of Bernard King
Really?
mentions.
We brought him up like 4 or 5 times.
Yes. Oh, you know what?
Okay, so he old is really what it is.
I know. That's what it says. Fun question for you before we go.
Yeah.
Do you think Carmelo Anthony's number should be retired?
Yes.
Do you think Bernard King's number should be retired?
Yes.
Your mom would say Bernard
Double
King's
yes.
number should be retired.
Yeah.
Double
Absolutely.
yes. Okay.
Okay, so you said double yes.
I think yes for Melo, and we were going back and forth on King because we're like tenure, but also he was amazing.
Yeah, so tenure, I understand this part of the argument, tenure, but I think also with the era in itself, right? If you're defining Knicks eras, that was the Bernard King era.
Yeah. He owned the 80s.
He owned the 80s. And you
basically.
think of him, I'm fine with that.
He saved them from whatever happened with Michael Ray Richardson.
Interesting time in New York sports, late 80s. Woo. Interesting time. There's a lot going on. All right, everybody, we got to get out of here.
See you
It is
Monday.
late. We will see you Monday. I think we are all happy. We are not going to see you Saturday. We love you.
Very much.
We will have a recorded episode of New York Got Game that will come out either Saturday or Sunday, likely on Sunday. We'll let you guys know more about who the guest is going to be on that. Then we are back here on Monday.
Yep.
We will also let you know who the guest is going to be on that. We've had 6 different guests already, Kavitha being guest number 6. Kavitha also should be known for history. Kavitha, you are the first female guest.
Oh, well, I'm honored.
I like letting people
won't
know
be
when
the
they're part of
last.
history. You will not be the last, but I
No.
like
Will not
letting
be the
people know
last.
when
I
you're
appreciate
first
that. I
part
got to
of
say, Dex especially, Brian, you and I just met,
Yes.
and I'm sure this is true of you, but Dex is especially an advocate for women in the industry, and we all
Yes.
appreciate it. So,
Yes.
Hey, I think we always should think about having as many diverse voices sit up here as possible.
Agree.
We've had all different people sit up here. We'll have more. You're going to come back and hang with us for
I would
another?
absolutely come back.
Okay,
yes.
because Doug said he would come back. We have to keep in mind that you're both 1-0. So what's going to happen?
Oh, we
now-
got to get the both of us. Is that what's going to happen?
Yo, that might
Leave
have to
room for an
happen.
extra
But there's
chair?
pressure on you because now
no.
the people who took L's, people might say we don't want him back.
They might want no, but also there's gonna be people we asked to come, and they're like, "Yo, I don't want to come for the
I was going to
Celtics."
say, you're setting us up for failure right now.
Yeah, yo, maybe you got into the good time. Like you got into the good time. You got in where you can collect wins.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, the other people might
Yep.
be like, "Oh, we come for the Celtics."
Yeah,
Now my record is gonna be-
there's a couple people like on our list, so to speak, who they won't care. You know,
Yeah.
actually, one of them is a Celtics fan, and the other one doesn't give a shit. So like, they just
We-
watch that.
Yes, we might do that. We very
So-
possibly may have a Celtics fan sit here with us
Yeah,
and watch the game, which
we'll
will be
see. We'll
quite
see.
interesting.
We'll see.
Quite interesting. Kavitha, appreciate you. You know I'm always a big fan of yours.
Yeah.
We're good friends. Great foodie. Even though you did not hate on wings, so that was great.
No,
today.
I love
You did
wings.
not. You did not hate. You did not hate on wings. We will have you back. The Patrick Ewing jersey is good luck. Kavitha is good luck. Kavitha for the closeout. Doug was here for the start. See, the two friends, they came together. So one started the series out, one closed the series out, and here we are. We also have to thank everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody who checked in. A lot of comments. Gaza Zone, you've gone crazy with the comments.
We appreciate
We
it.
appreciate you,
Very
though.
much.
Shout out to Kavitha's mom, who was checking in the chat. Clinton Yates, who was in here
Yes,
watching.
Salute.
I'm not going to say anything. Clinton, great job in journalism. Great career. That's all I'm going to say. A
1000%.
fantastic career in journalism, like myself and Kavitha. Nothing to do with age. We're not going to say anything about that at all whatsoever. Also got to thank my staff here, Wesley, Nikolai, Tommy. All great job on the production through this series. We'll be back, as we said, on Monday. Everybody have a great night. Enjoy the Knicks win. Don't be mad. Orange and blue skies. We'll see y'all on Monday. Peace.